Hey everybody, and welcome to a semi-centennial wild ride with Steve-O. If you're wondering what that word means, it means every 50 years. And both Jay Mewes and myself are exactly 50 years old, plus born one day apart. It's unbelievable, man, that both of us are still alive. And it's really, really entertaining to hear us discuss this. I'll also add that the first time we did a podcast together, the Wild Ride episode with Jay Mewes, was 3 years ago. And man, has the growth and the quality of our shows improved. I think that is going to be self-evident. I'm so excited for you to see this. And I'll add one more thing. Both Jay Mewes and I also have comedy tours. Mine is called Steve-O the Super Dummy Tour, and it kicks back off November 8th in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it is a healthy run that I'll be on. So do check out my tour dates as well as those of Jay Mewes, and without further ado, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you the great Jay Mewes.
Dun, dun, dun. No, just kidding. Hey.
The last time you were on the Wild Ride podcast, you're a now distinguished second-time guest. I introduced you as Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
Is there a preference?
I guess Jay Mewes, mainly because I realized as time went on, we started getting like my social, like my TikTok and my website is jmewes.com/events. Everything is Jay Mewes, so I just right. Going with it. So Jay, most people call me Jay or Mewes.
Right. So I screwed you last time. This time I got it right.
Yes. Yes.
I know how I introduced you on the first go around because I diligently, professionally listened to our episode, and it's crazy. You and I both say on that show that we're 47. Now we're both 50.
Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that didn't even like register. It's 3 years ago.
I mean, in the neighborhood of 3 years ago.
Wow.
And
it was during COVID.
yeah, and so we just brought up your age because I wasn't sure if it was 2.5 years, if it was 3 years. Like, so maybe now I'm 50 and you're still 49. But we brought up your age. Dude, my birthday is June 13th.
I know.
Yours is June 12th.
Look at that right there, right? Gemini's right here.
So, on top of congratulations to us for being 50, God, I mean, nobody saw that coming.
No.
Right?
I definitely didn't. Yeah. So.
And on top of that, like, is heroin a
it's an age preservative?
Yeah.
That's what my brother said.
I've heard that before.
He said there's like age preserving qualities in heroin. Like you look really old while you're doing it, and then once you get off of it, you like look really young.
It seems that way. It's it must be that because there were so many years of running, and people have said like people have been really, especially the last 6 months. Like I don't know, but it makes sense a little bit because I feel like when you're doing it, even though there's the hustle to get it, but if you have it, you figure there's no stress, so there's no gray hair. There's no stress because you're just like this, right? You're just like, yeah, everything's right in the world, baby.
That's funny.
It's like intermittent fasting. they say that's healthy for you because you challenge your body, but in a safe way, and then you get your relief.
Yeah. The only bad part is you might not make it out of it.
No, it's true.
Sure.
And like the struggle of I just remember like, and it took even when I got sober. I remember like getting used to like normal, like, okay, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go get coffee. And then what do I have to do today? Let's see what I have on the schedule or whatever. But like, it used to be like, okay, I woke up, I'm sick. Like, how am I getting money? When am I going to be able to meet my guy? And then do I have enough? Like that was literally my daily, it's like your daily routine. Well, mine, I know for sure, because there are so many times where like I'd go on a run and I'd have a little bit of money and it'd be easy. And then all of a sudden I'd run out of money. It would go quick. And then I'd like, oh my gosh, I'm like going to be sick tomorrow. And I'm going to try to make this last for at least a day or two. And then it would last like 3 hours. It's just so much. Like,
did you have any close calls with overdoses?
I feel like, I want to say one time maybe. I remember I was in Malibu. I was at this guy's house, and everyone was partying, But I was slamming speedballs. But then I like ran out of dope and I only had Coke. And I remember shooting the Coke, and we were on the beach. Like, his house was literally on the beach, so you could hear the waves coming through the sliding glass door. He had it open. And I remember like hearing people talk all night. And I kept like checking and stuff, and everyone was sleeping. No one was there anymore. Like, most people left and all that. So there was that. So I was hearing things like really bad. But also at one point I remember just my heart and like me dropping to my knees and it being like, woo, but never like went out to where like someone had to like call the ambulance
or get Narcan.
Or then, yeah, no, I like, you know, even though I did it for so many years, whenever I'd get a new batch of stuff, I'd always do just a little bit to test it out. Like, I never was someone who like got a new batch and was like, I'm sick, let me do this whole thing, because I usually do one bag, so let me do one bag. I'm like, this is new, this could be stronger, so let me do a little bit of this new bag.
Vinny, do you relate to that?
Absolutely not. I would go to the extreme. I put everything in one shot.
We didn't have Vinny on the show the last time we had you, and Vinny's a veteran heroin addict himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a bunch of close calls with overdoses.
Oh, you did, yeah.
We could drag you through the prison pocket story, but we'll just sum it up as he went down for a 6-month bid, and he went with a convenience store up his butt.
Oh, nice.
A very illegal convenience store.
All right.
Did you know Kevin before the heroin?
I did. Kevin and I went to school together. We grew up in the same town. We went to school together, but he was like a senior and I was a freshman, so we never hung out. I just knew him as, there's the guy who does all the talent shows. Like, him and his friends used to do these talent shows, and they just stood out to me, so that's how I knew him in school.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, how'd you guys go on separate paths? Like, you were shooting up, and but you didn't know him.
No, because I didn't know him, and even if I did know him by the time I was using. You know, my mom was a dope fiend, and my mom died of AIDS.
Oh, wow.
And my sister was a dope fiend, my brother, and I was like, I'm never going to do this. And it wasn't until I was 21, long story short, I met this girl, and I was hanging with this girl, and I remember I was like, I'm 21, let's go to the bar. I could finally like go to a bar and stuff. She was already 21. And I remember like we'd go out sometimes, and her and my buddy, my best friend, was dating her best friend. They would like be sitting there nodding and stuff. I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? Like, why are you, oh, man, we're tired from work and stuff. Anyway, on my 21st birthday, they admit to me, sorry, man, we've been doing dope. And I was like, all right, whatever, like, just don't do it around me. And I went and got a 6-pack, and we're drinking, and they were nodding out. And finally, I was like, I don't get it. Like, that doesn't look fun to me. I was like, let me try it. They're like, you don't understand unless you try it. I was like, all right, let me try it then.
Don't judge us.
Yeah, it really was. And I was like, you don't understand. And I was like, well, let me try it. And I remember trying it, me and that girl like being like, have hole, and cuddling. And I was like, I love this stuff. And you know, it started at weekends, and then all of a sudden it was every day. And then I was like, well, I'll never do needles though. I did dope. I snorted dope, 'cause East Coast.
That was the first time you did it, was snorting it?
Yeah, I was snorting it, and I did that for probably about 2 years or so, because I never would do needles, right? And I remember I only had one bag, and I was doing about 3 bags to just be normal. And I was like, man, I'm gonna still be sick if I do this. Someone's like, well, if you shoot it, you won't. And I was like, no way. And she's like, look, I'm a nurse, and I have a brand new bag. I could tell you they're clean, they've never been used. And because of that, she was like, and I'll even do it. I was like, no way. All right. And she did it. And then, again, that was it. After that, it was like, oh, I do get it. Now I only have to do 1 instead of 3.
Well, that's the logic is like, go ahead and shoot it. You won't need it all the time.
For me, it was like where I was at, heroin was so expensive. So I was like, oh, I want to get my money's worth. You know what I mean?
It's economically unfeasible to continue at a certain point with smoking or snorting.
Yeah.
If I could rig it, I can dig it.
We got pretty well into all the addiction stuff the last time around. What I'm interested in is your secret for how you look so goddamn good.
Fantastic.
I mean, we talked about heroin, but really, like, do you have an exercise regimen, like a health and wellness protocol?
I wish I did. I need to exercise. It's funny because, anyway, I want to start. It's none of that. I don't know what it is. I don't know really. And I would say, there's nothing even that I've been doing consistent that I could be like, hey, maybe it's this NAD that I'm taking, or it's these shakes I'm drinking.
Are you taking NADs?
I am now. I've been doing NAD just recently. You know, like going to get the IV shots and stuff, and
it takes
you
like
know,
4 hours to drip through.
Well, they did it for 2 hours. They like tested it, and they were like, "Wow, you're okay. You're not feeling nauseous." I'm like, "Nope." So, and I haven't done it that many times, but I've done it a couple times. I'm just saying, like, I would say it was something like that if I've been doing it long term.
Kids keep you young,
but I would say, I don't know about looking physically young, but I feel like since I've had my kids, I definitely feel a little bit older sometimes, and I don't know if it's from running and chasing them and like picking them up and like just them like not getting as much sleep. I mean, I started sleeping better recently, but I used to be like when the kids would fall, my kid would fall asleep, my wife fall asleep, that's when I'd start building Legos and playing Fortnite and stuff. So that would be my time because I'm like, all right,
I think the Legos.
Legos are keeping you young.
You know what it is I think enthusiasm, like passion, like joy.
Yeah, I could say it's that. I would definitely say that over the years, I have kept my spirit. Maybe I would say I have a positive outlook on life since I've been sober, for sure. Before that, you know, again, it's, you know, it's a whole different thing. But I definitely am happy.
Still lovable.
I mean, I've been told I'm lovable, so I guess, I guess it's that. I mean, but I guess it's genes too. I don't know. Again, I've never met my dad. I don't know if I spoke about that last time, but never met my dad. I don't know who my dad is, but I met my mom and all these different things. But I appreciate you asking why I look young.
You've never done a 23andMe?
I have. And yeah.
Sounds like the motivation was for everything except find my dad.
No, it is for finding my dad. It was to see like relatives and stuff. But we're still like in the process of like there's people on there that are like first cousins. They're definitely not from my mom's side, so I'm like, maybe we're gonna figure this out. Things are on the uprise is what I'm saying, but I don't have any details, so I don't want to really share yet. But it's something maybe I could come back a third time.
Wow.
Do you ever have people on 3 times?
We have.
No? Okay, fair enough.
I don't think there's ever been anybody 4 times, but there's definitely a growing 3 appearance club.
Like maybe I'll have a nice, cool story to tell.
What's your ethnicity?
You know what? It's so funny because I didn't realize my mom. So my mom told me that my dad was 100% Polish, and his name was John, which I don't think it was because no one seems to know a John. But anyway, I found out I'm 30% Italian, so my dad's like pretty Italian.
Aren't those nationalities though not ethnicities?
Nationality is like where you're from. Like I'm American, right?
Well, understood.
Ethnic background.
Ethnicity is going to be like more of a race connotation, like Caucasian or
ethnicity means who were your ancestors.
Oh wow, okay, so I'm misinformed, I guess.
Yeah, so my ancestors, I know that my father's side was all from Italy.
Wow.
And my mom's, I'm Scotland and from Irish. I mean, Scotland and from England and stuff is my mom's.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
Now that seems to have quite a bit of overlap. We've got a definition here. Nationality means what country's on your passport and birth certificate, while ethnicity means who were your ancestors. So like...
And you asked me what my nationality
I said what your ethnicity is.
You did ask me ethnicity, which is what I
Yeah, what are you getting at, Mr. Glover?
I was right.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I would say like Scandinavian, like the counts more.
Well, I think like what 23andMe does is it gives you the region. Like, it'll circle the map and it'll be like Italy and Greek. Like Mediterranean style, or like I'm a lot German in France, but I think I'm more French than I am German.
But what's great too is it does, like, you'll find people on there that you're relatives with, and they had gone back. Like from my mom's side, I have her sister, half sister, like has gone deep where they found the grandparents and the great grandparents, and they came over in 1896, and they have papers that are like they signed the book when they got over on the Mayflower, or whatever, like all that stuff, like deep
That's
details
the kind of shit
of
my
stuff.
sister would do.
My cousin reached out to me from there. She's 81 years old. I'm not sure if she's still alive, but she ended up forwarding me over my family tree, and I'm related to Thomas Jefferson.
Nice. And,
I mean, dude, how many cousins do you have? Do you even have a number on that?
No, I don't.
And why do you have so many cousins?
My mom's one of 9. and then they all had kids, and then they're like a big Italian family. Then their sisters had kids, and so there's kids on kids on kids, and cousins on kids on kids. So like, it's just so overwhelming. I grew up going to family functions where you say hi and goodbye to everybody.
Yeah,
that's why I always dip, because I'm so sick of like okay, see ya.
Whenever I hear Scott's got a cousin coming, I'm like, and
it could be one of many, but I have a big family.
How many is your dad? One of
2.
Okay.
And then I just reached out to my cousin Craig. I haven't talked to him the first time, but they all live in Grants Pass.
Okay,
so
good.
It's definitely the ancestral.com and the 23andMe has definitely been interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have any Native American influence in your?
I don't believe I do. I wish I could pull it up and give you all the details. Again, it is great how they have like the wheel and they show like percentages of what you are and all that. So it's definitely been pretty. I'm glad I did it, is my point. I mean, it's funny because I've met a few people. I've told them, they're like, dude, you can't put your DNA in the system. Haven't you heard stories? Like they're all like paranoid and stuff.
That's the only reason I would want to do it. I don't care about the wheel. Let me tell you why. The wheel of pie chart of how much I'm British versus how much I'm Canadian or whatever. I don't really mind. What I'm fascinated by is true crime content and true crime content. A lot of the times they catch the bad guy because of the genetic
23andMe.
Yeah, so many people put their. So if I have a relative who's a bad guy who did a murder and needs to be brought to justice, then take my DNA, because if there's just the slightest chance that the right thing will happen for justice.
Ratting out your cousin?
I'm indiscriminately trying to do my part to bring criminals to justice.
Good man.
I like it.
So yeah, I'm a rat.
I like it.
All right, so an important question. Is my brother a good neighbor?
He is. You know, him and I feel like I travel a bunch, so I haven't seen, we cross paths, but I see him, and I mean, he's been honestly a nice thing. Like right off the bat, we like sort of hit it off because I seen him, and he was bringing his kid to school, and I said hi, and then I saw him the next day, and I said, hey, where are you going to school? And he told me where, and I was like, oh wow, my kid, we're looking into that as well. So we started talking about the school, well, preschool, or daycare, wherever you call it. I don't know. And then it just was such a small world, because then he knows my buddy, and then you were neighbors. It's crazy.
It's a small world, dude.
It really is. So.
Scott's brother, Stephen Randolph, is a lot of things, and nice is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
It's very nice of you. Yeah, dude, I don't know how you do it. Like I took my niece out to the La Brea Tar Pits and the dinosaur store. Yeah. I had to go take a 4-hour nap after I hung out with my niece for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
like,
but you also have to take a nap after playing video games.
You said that having kids makes you young. I've never heard that.
I think it makes you feel young, because I'm like, hi, Diny doo data. Like I'm talking like a little kid. You know what I mean?
I've never once. If anything, I've heard that having kids like just ages you like.
It's exhausting. It's such a beautiful thing. It really is, but like it is exhausting, and like I didn't realize how much for me like my feelings would be involved, like how, because I can't, for example, like last year my daughter, one of her good friends, my daughter did something upset her and she just cut her off, and I'm like, wow, at 9 years old, but she wouldn't talk to her.
It's like healthy boundaries.
Yeah, and but it was, I think it was unhealthy, because it wasn't even like, hey, look, we're really friends, but you're really upsetting me, so we're gonna take a little break. It was just like the next day I was like, I'm not your friend anymore. And like my daughter came home upset, crying, I don't know what to do. And I just like didn't realize how much I'd be like, well, maybe I should talk to her parents. Like I felt like I wanted to get involved, but I know I shouldn't. And it's those things where it's like all I want to do is be there and try to help solve the problem. But I know that it's not in the long run, it's not going to help her learn how to, you know, deal with these things.
I think
that's interesting.
That sounds like a super healthy outlook on the situation you described.
And when, like, you know, she's not feeling good now and she's like upset, crying, I don't feel good, and she's like uncomfortable, and it's like, it's not being able to do anything, it just breaks my heart. So it's like, I want to, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, hey, I'll be out here. I'm going to leave you alone because I want to lay out here because I don't want to lay next to her because I feel so bad. She's uncomfortable. She's like yelling at me because she's uncomfortable. And I'm like, do you want me to stay in here with you or go out here? She's like, you can go out there. And I'm like, oh, but I'm just, it breaks my heart that I'm like, I can't do anything about it. Like, right. I'm like, I just have to sit and like do what I can to make her feel comfortable and try to help. And not being able to solve the problem is tougher than I expected, is what I'm saying. It's like, it really is. And like the school thing right now, like the daycare, like she's going to my son's going to one daycare, but like we went and looked at this other daycare and it looks like it's perfect. They play with Matchbox cars and he loves Matchbox cars. And he loves the water tables and there's outdoor play, and we're like, okay, but is this better for him or is this better for him? And after he's done with that, should he go to the school my daughter goes to? She thrives in this school. It's a French school and she loves it, but I'm like, is this right for him? Because he's a maniac. Yeah, they half the day they only speak to her and teach her writing, reading, and talk to her in French the whole time. It's pretty cool. I like the whole idea about it because it's not like what grabbed me is I remember growing up in school, it was like, hey, if you have a problem, you're going to the special class. Right, so you can get more attention. But we need to put you in a special class where you can get more attention from the teacher. This was like, hey, if she's falling behind, we'll just help her get ahead in the class, and if not, we'll give, you know. But either way, we'll help in that situation. If she's having trouble sitting, we'll like let her get up, and we'll like try to help deal with those things and have her adjust to it instead of being like, oh my God, she can't sit still, she's a little behind, we're going to put her in the special class with the special bus, you know.
Right,
and I thought that was good.
French.
Do they teach her French or something?
They do, but I'm saying that was the whole idea of the class. I don't know what the word is, like their whole
agenda, or like not agenda, but like a Montessori school where they have a different approach to teaching.
The approach, that's their approach, is like, we're going to teach her French, she's going to learn French, and the French way is to do it this way. And that's what I mean. And
give her
that's
wine for recess.
Why French?
My wife liked French. I don't speak French. My wife don't speak French, but we thought she really wanted her to learn another language, and she thought French would be great. And then we went and toured the school, and then I liked it because they said what I just said. That they were like, hey, this is the way we look at schools, and there's a whole way they look at the academic process and the way they look at, you know, the kids and stuff. And it was good for her, but I don't know if it's going to be great for him, you know, because they don't really touch on emotion things when they're young. They're not like, hey, Jimmy, it's going to be okay. You know, it's like, there's that. I'm saying there's so many different ways, so many different schools with different ideas of, like you said, Montessori's looks at it this way. This school touch it like hippie schools are like, hey, we work on their feelings, and they're not right or wrong. It's the way they see it. You know, if the sky's green, then the sky's green, Steve. You know, like,
yeah. I mean, how much different are schools now versus like the 70s and 80s? Like, I remember just like, super fights and like I feel like kids in high school aren't as bad as we were in high school.
Ooh,
yeah, I don't know.
think,
and I remember being younger and like fearing older people. Like, if I was a freshman and there was like a 20-year, like I wouldn't talk shit to a 20-year-old. I'd get the shit kicked out of me.
Put in the locker,
but now they're like, they're down. The 14-year-old kids are just down to talk shit to 20-year-old kids. Nobody can do anything. Everybody gets sued.
Well, one thing about the bilingual that I want to say is I understand that when super young people, toddlers, babies, learn more than one language, I've been told that develops more of their brain.
That's why you're so smart.
I think that I definitely got an advantage from that learning 3 languages by the age of 3. Like,
but you don't know any of those now, right?
Right, I forgot.
Yeah.
2 of them by the age of 5.
Well, I was learning. I was reading about how to keep your brain young, like getting in the 40, and it said learn a new language. It'll open up different parts of your brain. So you probably had that already working, you know, differently than other people.
On one hand, I'm a complete dumbass asshole for completely forgetting 2 languages. On the other hand, like I think did develop more of my brain the fact that I had all 3 for that short time.
No, and the reason I said that too is with the schools is going back to like I just didn't realize how much there is to think about. Because again, growing up in my town, it was like, hey, you grow up, you go to the Highlands Elementary, and we're in New Jersey where I grew up, and then you go to the high school up the hill, you know, or you can go to this Catholic school and all that. So there's a few choices, but I didn't realize how much there was. Like, is this right? Should we bring him here? Should we put him in this daycare, and then should we put him in this preschool? And all this stuff, it's a lot. It's a lot more than I expected when I was going to have kids and wanted kids. And again, it's all great, but at the same time, it's way more thinking. And luckily, my wife is on top of all the stuff. She's like filling out applications and all this stuff. Because
Did you go to public school?
I did. So where I went, it was like the public school. There was one public school and one high school, and then, like I said, a few kids went. Like Kevin went to this Catholic school that was in our town called OLPH and stuff. So there was like the Catholic school, excuse me, and then there was the public school in our thing. But again, I grew up in a small town, way different than here. I mean, there's so many. It's a different world for me. Like,
were you a bad kid in high school? Were you like getting in trouble? Were you?
I was. You know, like not. I wouldn't say when I was younger. It wasn't until about, I would say 6th, 7th grade, I got thrown out of my school for singing Carvel. You know what Carvel ice cream is? I think they have it here too, right?
Yeah,
Carvel fresh ice cream. Anyway, it was a commercial on all the time, and I sang that in the classroom with my bare butt, like I was like, you know, like I was like, oh yeah. And so that was just one thing I did, and then there was like me being like, if I had to go to the bathroom and the teacher was like, no, you gotta wait to the end of class, I'm like, whatever, like those type of things. That wasn't like super bad, like where I was fighting and all that stuff. I think I got in like one fight in my whole life in school, but yeah, more of that type of stuff. I just had like, so I got thrown out of 7th grade, got put in this school called Bayshore Alternative Program. And what was cool is the first like 3 hours of school, we were building this huge like garage in the back of the public school in Kingsburg, which was like 3 towns over. So we'd go there and we built this house from the frame up. So again, I actually winded up enjoying it because we did it like I learned some construction and we'd like hang out and build stuff, and then the rest you would do classwork. And then I was there till junior year, and then I realized then I was like getting a little older, and I was like, man, I'm missing out on the proms and the homecoming things, and I still a virgin, you know, so I was a virgin until I was almost 18. So
really?
Yeah, so I realized like I need to go back to regular high school, and I graduated from my regular school at senior year. But so yeah, I got in a little trouble, but you know, not fighting and stuff, just more just being obnoxious.
So you were not violent. You were merely inappropriate.
Yeah, very inappropriate. Never violent. I was never violent. Yeah.
Like butthole inappropriate.
Yeah, you know, like I'd have like my bag out, and I'd be like, I dropped gum on my lap, you know, to the like other kids in my class and stuff. And everyone,
you can't say that now.
You can't now. You get in trouble. Yeah, like I would like every time. Yeah, I would have totally got like way more trouble now.
Canceled in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Now.
So
what was the first
looks beautiful
video project? Like, did you have a home video camera and you made videos on your own? Like, did somebody else, like, what was the first time that you were creative in front of a camera?
My buddy had gotten this Panasonic camera. It took cassette tapes, like the old
the mini VHS-C.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was like the old, no, because it was the regular size ones like you had in your car. You know,
okay, so high 8.
High 8. Yeah. It was like high 8 cassette tapes, and you put it in the Panasonic camera, and you record, and then you plug in the red, white, and yellow, and you play it back. I don't remember what grade I was in, but I remember my buddy got one of them. It was more of like those are like two-way high tech than what I'm talking about. This was like a kid's one, but I remember I pooped out of a tree, and my buddy videotaped it. Right?
You still have it?
We thought it was so funny. It was so funny at the time. And then on the way home, I used to eat these things called firecrackers. They're like hot dogs in this bag of like spicy juice, and I used to eat them every day. Go to Cumberland Farms in my neighborhood. And I stopped and got 2 of them. I ate one. I got the other one. I was like, wait a sec. I opened it up. I gave it to my buddy. His name's Nini Balls. I said, Nini Balls, put this in your zipper. And then I got down. I was like, went to town, and my buddy recorded it and stuff. And then we went home and watched it. And the quality was so bad. It looked real. I was like, wow, I'm like a champion at that. And, made me think for a sec, but
That's funny, dude.
But it was, those are my, honest to goodness, those are my first 2 videos ever remember filming anything.
And can you approximate what year that would have happened in?
It definitely would say, let me think, because I had to say it was about 13 or 14, I would say.
So since we're the exact same age, that's 8th grade. That's the first time I got in front of a video camera. And for me, it was just like, let me do some half-ass skateboard trick that I'll be so stoked if I get on camera. Like, I was nowhere near as awesome as you were.
Well, thanks. Do you remember what camera you had, though?
It was VHS-C, the first one that I had.
Yeah. I wish I could... It was... I don't know if it was... Maybe it wasn't a
Type in, like,
Panasonic.
1988 high 8s.
And I don't even know if it was a high 8. It really seemed like... Because, see, these all have, like, actual, like... This was like this was almost like a kid's toy. It was above that, but not as good as that. I'm really curious now. I'm telling you, it almost seemed like a kid's video camera toy. Not that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
I had no way of knowing that question, what's the first thing you did on camera, would yield such an unbelievably awesome answer.
Well, thank you.
Is it true, like, the first time you started filming, you like had people get out of the room because you were so nervous about acting in front of people?
Yeah, that was with Kevin. Like, when we shot film Clerks, I was so nervous. Like, I remember just like the first few takes, especially like the first scenes we shot, like I was so nervous that I was just like, snooch to the nooch, and Kevin's like, dude, you gotta be animated, like get into it. And I'm like, I'm trying. And then we try again, and I just was funny. I felt like everyone was watching me, like right now how I'm talking to you guys, well, that's what I felt like. And I felt like everyone was like, oh, he's gonna mess this up, he's gonna be bad at this.
But
and
you were totally comfortable, natural, like gobbling sausage out of your butt.
Well, again, because that was my idea, like, but now all of a sudden I'm like, have a script. I think that's what made me so nervous with Clerks, thinking about it, is like, it was the idea of saying things, trying to make sure I don't mess any lines up,
right,
and like remembering all the dialogue, and like making sure I don't like turn my back to the camera. I don't know, but with the hot dog, I was like, this is my idea.
Right, I get it.
No,
like,
but you're right. It was
I make that point because I relate so much to it. Like I so intimately relate. I remember like when I worked on cruise ships, like doing the stuff that I was supposed to do as a clown on cruise ships, like was completely unnatural to me. I was like super awkward. And as soon as we got done and went to the bar, I'm like, yo guys, check this out. I'm gonna do this rad trick. And the other clowns are like, yo, why can't you do this when we're doing that?
Yeah.
Even when you're fucked up, you were like still nervous about it? Because weren't you the drunken clown?
I wasn't a drunken clown, but yeah, there was just something awkward about like, and maybe I'm a bad clown, like maybe I'm not, just like there's just some sense that I'm trying to like do something else, and not like what I just genuinely believe. Like there's a built-in confidence when you're doing something that's you.
Yeah. No, it was a big difference, and I feel like even when we got through this movie, then we did Mallrats, I felt the same way. Again, I felt a little more comfortable doing Mallrats, but I still was. I just remember there it was like, I can't ask everyone to like go in the other room or whatever, because it was like a studio movie and there was a bunch of PAs and all that. So I'm like, I have to do this. I can't like But I still remember being super nervous doing the first couple scenes. One of the first scenes was the one where I'm like, here, kitty, 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 kitty. And I was like, and then, anyway. But yeah, so luckily it was a fun scene where I got to dance and like talk to Jason Lee, who was super fun. And we had a blast doing that.
Dude, Jason Lee, what a hero.
Yeah.
How did you guys, like, get him to go do the Comic-Con stuff with you?
I don't know how he I think the first couple things he just had he went and did for Kevin because it was like an event like, hey, we're just going to do it like this little event at the comic book store for Mallrats and whatever. And he came out. I don't know how he got to start doing the Comic-Cons. I know that the person that gets us to come out reached out to him, but I think maybe he was like, why not? I think Kevin and Jay will be there and we can hang out. And
yeah.
I think Ethan Suplee was even at the first one, and the gentleman, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, that's in Earl.
Yeah.
Eddie. Is it Eddie? Yeah, I think his name's Eddie. But anyway, so yeah, I just saw him at New York Comic Con. We had such a blast. I actually told him I'm hopefully going to talk to him in a few days, because he was like, I didn't realize, all this time I've known him, I didn't realize how much he's a baseball fan. And I'm not really a baseball fan, but if I was, I'm a Yankees fan. Ooh. So I'm like, dude, I hope Yankees win. And if they win, they're going to beat the Dodgers. He's like, no way, dude, Dodgers are going to win the whole thing. So I was like, all right, we'll see. So anyway, I'm excited because when next time I see him, we'll see who wins. Because it's
the World Series.
When does the first game start? Friday, yeah.
How old is Jason Lee?
I feel like he's got to be at least a year older than me or two, right?
54.
Oh, he's 4 years older than me. Wow, yeah. Yeah, there's Eddie. There's the other gentleman. Yeah, so like Eddie's been going, and Ethan, man, well,
Ethan Suplee?
Yeah, so crazy to see him now, man.
Well, yeah, we have Edward Furlong coming up on the podcast, and he was in American History X with him.
Yeah, wow.
And he was huge in American History X.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Look at him now.
Yeah, wasn't he in Blow?
Tuna.
Yeah.
God, Blow was a good movie, man.
So good.
And you know what made it like 10 times, 100 times better?
The music.
No. If you watched it on DVD, just right when you got done finishing the movie, you could click onto a DVD bonus feature where the actual guy that Johnny Depp was playing sat there, like, being interviewed on camera in prison.
George Young.
Oh, wow.
George Young.
Yeah.
And like when you just finished watching Blow and then you automatically switch over to actually looking at the real guy and watching him talk.
That's cool.
It completely floors you the extent to which Johnny Depp became that person. Like all the mannerisms that you see, dude. Like, God damn, Johnny Depp is talented.
Yeah, he really is. I agree with that. I feel like all the movies, I feel like the characters he plays and how good he plays them. Jack Sparrow,
Donnie Brasco,
like all that. He really is really talented.
I gauge my opinion of actors and their talent based on like how different one character is to the next. Yeah. Like a lot of people, they're just the same person all the time, and sure, that works. It'll make a movie great. But like for me to be really impressed by an actor, to Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt. The way that Brad Pitt has been so wildly different from one character to the next. Who else?
Yeah,
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is Robin Williams in every movie, except for like when he plays like 1 Hour Photo serious role. I think like I don't know. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. Him in Revenant. You see Revenant?
Oh, Revenant was
I haven't seen that, but Who's Eating Gilbert Grape, isn't? Is he in that one? Yeah. Him playing that kid.
The Down syndrome kid?
Yeah, he did really.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix?
I'm trying to think of, there's someone else I was thinking of that I was just talking about the other day, and I can't.
How did the Joker 2
horribly
just
did horrible.
Eat shit so
because it's a musical.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I did not. And when I saw somebody responding to criticism about it, I think somebody who was involved in it, saying that, dude, the movie was meant to be polarizing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it failed at that because 100% of people seem to agree it sucks dick.
I enjoyed it.
You saw it?
I saw it. I went to the theaters and saw it.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, I went to go see it.
I enjoyed it.
and somebody's like, it's a musical. I was like, there's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna go see that.
I mean, dude, like you're the only person who
enjoyed it?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
What'd you like?
I was looking forward to it. I was like, man, I can't wait. That's one I'm gonna go to the theater for. And then I just heard everybody say how awful it was, and so I decided, all right, I guess I want to go see it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Do I wish there was a little bit more violence and like cool stuff in it? Yeah, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, Terrifier beat it, right? Everyone kept talking. That's all I kept hearing is how Terrifier like blew the box office away compared to the Joker.
What's the Terrifier? I didn't even know.
Like some horror movie, yeah. Like
I think because Joaquin Phoenix, his performance was just so good, and then Lady Gaga also did a great job. I think the way that it was shot, the colors, everything about it, I really enjoyed it.
I mean, the first Joker with Joaquin Phoenix,
amazing.
Amazing in one sense, yes, but. Like, when you walked out of the movie theater after that first Joaquin Phoenix Joker, like, it took a toll on you.
Yeah.
Like, it bummed you out.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, oh, like, I don't feel okay, you know? And, like, it's weird. It's weird how that's, like a compelling kind of, like, a satisfying feeling, because it just made me feel bad. But I liked that, and I was looking forward to it again, so I don't know. I don't understand.
I recommend it. I'd say go see it.
I mean, well, I almost feel like I want to now, but I don't know when I'm gonna find time to go to a movie theater. Like
I just purchased that AMC VIP thing where you pay $24 a month. You get to see 3 movies a week.
How many movies have you seen this month?
Just one.
Scott Randolph used to go to the movies every week.
Sometimes 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and you just don't do that anymore, right?
Since the pandemic, dude, like everything's just immediately on demand.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna go to the theater and see Joker, but
everybody said it sucks so bad.
Well, I was talking to Daniel, and he's like, "Yeah, I went to go see it," and I was like, "Oh, is it sick?" He's like, "Not really, dude. Like, it's a musical." And I'm like, "It's a musical," and that's weird because it's Todd Phillips who did The Hangover, and I don't know what they were thinking.
I mean, dude, the movie industry, they're not making comedies anymore, except for Kevin Smith. How's he doing it and nobody else is doing it?
Wait, I don't know. The 4:30 movie came out, though. That's his new one.
Yeah.
We were in that. When you say musical, though, is it like the Joker's like, I'm gonna get you, Batman, get you now.
That's a good question.
Up and away. You know, like
that's a good question. I don't know.
No, it's basically a love story between him and Lady Gaga. So it's like it's just them. Nobody else is singing in it. It's just them.
Well, I don't mind Lady Gaga singing the movie with Bradley Cooper when they were like in love playing. That was a good movie, but like, you know, Les Miserables, whatever one Hugh Jackman did. Like, there's no way I'm seeing that kind of a movie.
Are you still going on the? Sorry, hey Joker, where are you at? No. Did you? Are you still going on the? You've still been touring with your show?
I got a new show.
You have a whole so you're saying you like restructured it now? That's what you've been doing.
Not restructured it. What I did was I taped what the last show was, put out the special, and then got to work on building a new show for a new tour.
Fantastic, yeah, because I'm about to do that as well. I have to change. It's been a couple years for me now, so I'm trying to. I want to rename mine and do sort of the same thing.
Yeah,
but you put yours on
amusing
stories. Yeah. Jay Mewes and his, or I mean, I guess it's just
maybe
amusing
now
stories.
You can do a musical.
Yeah, get up and like, hey everyone, it's.
Do you have dates on your website coming up?
I do. Yes, if you go to jmewes.com/events, or just, I guess that'll work as well. If you go there, then it says, scroll a little bit down. There we go.
That's a beautiful colors on your website.
Thanks. So yeah, I'll be in Ontario this Thursday, then Kansas City, Des Moines. Then we got San Jose, Eugene, Oregon, Huntsville, Columbus. So yeah, I have a bunch. And then after this run here, I believe... I'm gonna try to change it. I'm gonna, like, again, same thing. I've been thinking about doing sort of the same, like putting mine out as like a special and trying to see what's what. So.
There's something about going back to a venue that you were at before with the same show that, for me, like is kind of soul crushing. Especially if the show doesn't have like a specifically branded name.
Yeah.
Like back. you know, at times when I was in a comedy club and it said Steve-O. You know, oh, Steve-O's at the comedy club, cool. And then like a year or two later, I'm at the same comedy club. It says Steve-O. And then people come and they're like, wait a second, he's doing what he did last time he was here.
Yeah, you know, I agree.
Like, what's up with doing the same shit, you know? And like, I had that experience like a couple times, and it really affected me like negatively. I was like, I can't do that anymore. And from now on, I just always want to have my show have a name.
No, I love it. Yeah, no, I've had my name the name the whole time.
Yeah, nobody can be mad at you because it's amusing stories. And then now if you're gonna go see amusing stories, then you know that's what the show is.
Yeah, and then I would and I've been changing the stories each time. But I get it. I know that I've been back to places, and most of it's been the same. It's like harder. I realize like it's its own sort of beast being able to like streamline a show for me anyway, I want to say, for an hour and like tell these stories. And even if I'm like, oh, I'm going to take this out and put this new one in, but I want to put a new one here and here, but I'm trying to keep it flowing. Anyway, so, you know, I've been changing it up, but now it's getting to the point where it's like I've changed it up, it's fresh, but I've been back and it's a whole new thing, but not a whole new thing, which is what I want to do next, is rename it and totally have something different. Maybe where I crap out of trees and stuff. No, I'm just
oh my God, dude! If you could track down that footage, can you even imagine if you like? Does that footage still exist?
I would imagine no, because you know what? Even the pictures from my buddies, you know, we've had like 3
dramatic reenactment, baby.
Oh, that'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
I fall out of the tree. I'm like, oh! We've had floods. It's such a bummer because my buddy that I grew up with, his parents, I used to spend like every day with him before, like, this is like 5 years old to like 15 almost. And they had tons of pictures and they had the videos, I'm sure, and all that. And we've had a couple storms there, floods.
Yeah, I've seen
where
the
things
news
have been
on that.
wiped out in Highlands, because where Highlands is, it's like a below sea level. And
man.
like homes are just, anyway, the point is I know it's got to be destroyed, but anyway, I dig it.
Dude, worth double checking. Whoever was in charge of those tapes, man, I can just only imagine.
I should call my buddy and be like, bro, is there any chance?
Please,
it'd be awesome if he was like, I have everything here.
Please do. Who knows? Maybe like he's like, dude, like, you know, Jay became the star, and I've got like our earliest home videos. Maybe he's like he saw value in those tapes. Didn't even say a word and got them digitized like decades ago. Because I mean, dude, how long's your entertainment career now? Like 30 years?
30 years. Yeah, we've been doing it 30 years.
Is that insane or what?
It really is. We actually just did an event at our comic book store, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which is crazy because that's been open almost 28 years.
Where's that?
It's in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Yeah, Kevin was talking about that.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's been open that long. It's Red Bank, which is a couple towns from where we grew up, which is Highlands. And it's still there. But we did an event. It was 30 years of Clerks, and technically 30 years of Jay and Silent Bob, which is, it blows me away that it's been around. We've been doing this for 30 years.
And it's awesome. Still, it's just, you're still going.
We're trying, man. We're trying to keep it moving. We just actually did last week, 2 weeks ago in Chicago, we had our first comic convention called Chronic Con. Because, you know, in our last movie, one of our last movies, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, when the characters in the movie are running through, we wind up going to Chronic Con, which was a fake convention in the movie, and we winded up bringing it to life. And
is it like a marijuana convention?
No, it's not, and that's why the bummer is like because I feel like people probably would be like, oh, I don't want to go bring my kids because there might be chronic involved, but it's not at all. It was all just like a bunch of the people, almost not every, but a handful of people from all the movies. Brian, Jeff, Shannon Elizabeth.
Look at that, man.
That's
great. Shannon Elizabeth, we saw her in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Dude, wouldn't it be rad if it was a marijuana convention? It was called CronCon Con. What, the CronCon? The CronCon?
Yeah. I love this. You have the whole thing. So yeah, like we did all the panels for Clerks, Tusk, and I did my amusing stories. Shannon Elizabeth did a panel. Kevin did a Q&A there. It was honestly, it was a lot of fun. It went well.
Looks like a Skankfest schedule almost.
I just went to Skankfest this year too, which was awesome.
How about that? Is that like the most incredible comedy festival?
It was so much fun, and again, such a different, like it's like a different like community, like a different world, like the whole comedy scene. Like it's been interesting.
Skankfest is to comedy what like The Gathering is for like it's almost like Juggalo-esque, like the following of Skankfest and and The Gathering and what's so crazy is they had ICP at Skankfest.
Will you go up again and scroll back? Keep on that line. More down. Yeah, right there. Let's go, baby. So it's cool. I judged. They had a boxing ring, and they had people roasting in the boxing ring, and I got to judge a roasting thing with Jamie Kennedy and Dan Ross, Steve Ross. No, and then I got to also. I was on a
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I was on with Jeff Ross. It was such a blast. I really have to say, like, and it was cool for me to see that. Like be there and be part of the whole, because I've never done, sounds silly, but I've never done 10 minutes or 15 minutes of comedy, and I did like 3 stages of just, because since I've been doing this, it was like, hey, do you want to come out and do this comedy club, and you can do 45 minutes, an hour, and I've been doing, so I've always had like a stories from when I open, I come out to the song, and then it's been 45 minutes, an hour, and now all of a sudden I had to take 15 minutes and be like, and so it was cool. It really like challenged me for myself. I felt challenged, and it was great because I'm like, wow, I can do 15 minutes, right? And I could do 10 minutes.
Are you doing anything on YouTube now?
I haven't been. I want to. I mean, me and the wife been talking about doing something. Like her and I want to do something with her, possibly with the kids, and then every once in a while I'll stream live on there with my playing video games.
Yeah. Is that Twitch?
On Twitch, but you can also connect YouTube, so I can go live on through
That's
stream.
Cool.
I could live on Twitch and YouTube. Sometimes I go live on Twitch and TikTok at the same time as well. So it's been fun. It's been awesome, man. Between that and doing the stand-up, and hopefully Kevin wants to do another movie, where's maybe the end of next year we're gonna do another one. He's already written a couple. He has like Mallrats 2, he has a Jay and Bob movie.
Whoa.
But nothing's set in stone, but it just he's like, I really want to do something again before we're like way too old and we're like stooch to the nooch, So we'll see.
I mean, how easy is it for Kevin to get greenlit for a movie? Is it pretty like guaranteed? If you write something, shows it's on.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't say necessarily.
Day and age, especially with the demise of comedy movies, I think it's hard.
It's a harder pitch.
Well, I think too. I don't know if it would be if he like for 4:30. I'm not, because I believe it was. The problem is like most of the movies like minimum, I believe, are in the $8, $9, $10 million or so. I'm not 100% on that number, but it's like when it starts to get in that realm, it's harder. I think if he was like, hey, I want to do Mallrats 2 for $1 million, maybe, but yeah, it just seems to be, it's like a weird thing, especially since the strike. It's a bummer. I was supposed to direct a movie this whole end of the year. I had like carved out because I was going to direct a movie, and then I was going to be a lead in this like little indie movie, but still be the lead in it. And when the strike happened, like all the money got like pulled away, and so both of them like went away, which is a bummer. I love directing. I've directed one movie called Madness in the Method, which was such a blast to do. And I really want to do it again. But yeah, the strike hit, and then it went on for months and months and months. And next thing you know, like people pulled out financing and stuff. So, yeah, I think that the strikes have like made it really a different.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think there's a lot of things at play.
Yes, definitely.
And the movie industry has always been like tremendously high stakes gambling. And the appetite for risk is just not really there. People aren't willing to try new stuff that might not work. They just want to keep just shoving what does work down your throat over and over. So we're just like superheroed to death.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It's true.
And if they think it's gonna work, they'll put like tons and tons of money into it. And so like, there's just not really like the indie.
No, it's like $100 million movie or like $1 million. That's what I mean. Is like it's hard to get in that between. It seems like a lot of it. It's like a lot of TV these days. I feel like I nonstop and seeing like a new Netflix series, a new Apple series, a new this series, you know?
You know, what's fascinating to me is that the biggest streamer on TV sets is YouTube, like by a lot. And that's like, forget about it. Like, I think of YouTube as people watching shit on their phone.
Yeah.
You know, but like every TV is now smart TV. Every TV, like you can download any app you want on the TV. Every TV has YouTube downloaded as an app. And what people are watching when they sit down in their living room, more than anything, is YouTube. So I gotta know, like, what's coming through your YouTube feed. And that, because nothing, like, Netflix will tailor, like, what's on your browse menu, but they can only tailor it so much. YouTube, like, that's like your fucking fingerprint. Like, your YouTube feed is like your fucking fingerprint of what you like.
I feel like a lot of mine has been gaming stuff, but I really don't go on YouTube too much. I really watch a lot of Peacock and, like, Prime. Right now I've been watching... this show, The Murdoch Mysteries, the TV show. Love it. It's so good. It's 17 seasons right now.
Oh shit! I thought you were talking about the
Rupert Murdoch.
Not Rupert Murdoch. Murdaugh, the guy who killed his wife and kid.
Oh no,
the red-haired lawyer guy.
No, this show right here, which is a 17th season, I dig it.
17, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and they just renewed, I think, for an 18th season. I also just watched again. I've already watched it before, but sometimes I'll rewatch shows. Is the show Las Vegas? It's on that's on Peacock. It's fun, but I don't really watch a lot of YouTube, and if I do. Again, I feel like a lot of video game stuff pops up for me because it's mainly like...
What kind of video game?
Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite, Call of Duty.
I play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty and Apex. I love the first-person shooter games. I've played a little bit of Dead by Daylight and like the Space Marines 2 just came out. Was it Fall Guys? You know,
Fall Guy, yeah.
Dude, I remember it took me like I had like 3 buddies that I played with all the time. They got crowns like within the first 3 to 5 games. It took me like 3 weeks of playing for like 4 hours a day to like beat everyone to get the crown. This is fun. I've been meaning to play this with my stream because you can be the killer and then there could be like the 6 survivors or whatever from your community. And right now you can be like Chucky or like all these different characters. I don't know. It's like right now with the kids, it's like I get about an hour. If I'm home, I'll get like an hour in where I can stream and play some video games and stuff, and I'll just wind up playing Fortnite because it's right
quick
now,
and it's easy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's easy.
Does your wife play video games?
She doesn't. She doesn't like video games at all.
Does she give you shit for playing video games?
If I play for too long, she does. Not just for playing in general, but she knows I really like Legos, and she never gives me crap about Legos. Again, if the kids are at school and they're doing something, it's just me and her, and I don't have things that I'm supposed to be doing, she don't care. But it's mainly if I was supposed to like, hey man, don't forget you gotta, you have to go to the doctors and you gotta do this and we gotta call this guy for this. And then I'm home playing video games and she'll be like, did you make those calls? I'm like, not yet. Then she'll be like, then she'll get maybe a little disappointed in me. So,
are you still loving Tesla?
I am. I have my cars. I really want the Cybertruck, but I wouldn't get it now. I don't think maybe I would because I'm impatient. But I keep hearing that like, hey, wait till the Series 3 comes out, like after they redo it a couple times because there's been issues and stuff. But I'm sure you've seen them now, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people either love them or they think they're ugly.
I think they're cool, man.
I love it.
And people now, I've seen ones that are like white, like straight white or all black or like the different, like they look slick. I think they look so, look at that. It is I think it's such an interesting, awesome looking car to me.
I think it's cool, man.
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, you know, they say they're trying to get where they have the camper in the back. Imagine getting that and doing this in the back of it. Like, get the cabin in the back and you just pull up, all quiet. There's a plug in the back, just like and you can plug into it. They say you can use it. Look at that right there.
Tiny
World's
camper.
first folding camping. Yeah, I'm sold. I want it. Like, I'm telling you.
Wait. It folds down?
Yeah, it looks like it folds up, folds in. The tent thing, I think, is like...
Steve's going to buy it now.
Yeah, look at that. You pop that out right here, boom, and you do and you can get the extra battery now, plug stuff in. I don't know. I find it to be a really nice looking truck.
I think it's cool as hell, man. What are you doing, like, outside of video games? Like, do you play pickleball? Do you...
Nah, you know, I've never been into any sports, really. I don't play any basketball. I have before, but I'm just saying right now, it's like, seriously, it's like I wake up, the morning is getting breakfast for both kids, and then, like, I bring my daughter to school. My wife usually brings my son to daycare, and then later on, I'll pick him up. I'll pick up my daughter and she has ballet, or she has tennis lessons, or, you know, she's art. Like, we've had activities for my daughter almost every day to keep her busy. And that's really it. Or I'm out of town and my wife's home doing it all. And I'm like out, like just now I was gone, like I said, Chicago. I went to Jersey for 3 days. And then I went to New York Comic Con, and then I came home. I'm home for about 10 days, and then I go to, Thursday I have the Ontario show here, which I'll just drive to. And then I have Des Moines and Kansas City.
What's the split between live comedy and Comic-Con convention stuff?
This year it's
more comedy.
I would say 80% comedy, 20% comic conventions. The year before, I would say maybe it was 50-50, you know? So like last year I did a few more than this year. I've done like only 4, I think, this year or so. 3. So yeah, that's been the main 2 things, and then, you know, like doing like a day or 2. We did that. It was awesome. We got to do the '90s show, Kevin and I, which I was hoping they'd pick up a season 3, because like it was like established that Kevin was playing Chong's son, Cheech and Chong, you know, was in season 1, but he also was in the '70s show. And he's the neighbor who they'd, you know, go get. Yeah, right here you could see that screenshot. I thought it was down more with Kevin. There they go. Wow. So yeah, so when we first get there, he's like, son, and he's retiring, and Kevin's gonna move into his house and take over his business. And so we were in like 3 episodes, and because of that, I was like, oh, they definitely have to write us in again, because like the kids come over and they like always are run. But yeah, it looks like it got canceled, which is a bummer, because I was like, yes, this is, because I've never done multicam in a live studio audience before.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so we did that. And we'll see. That's you know, the rest of the year the acting thing is like, all right, you know, maybe I want to do this, and then this falls apart, and we'll see. So, but yeah, mainly it's been all comedy, man. So again, please check out jmewes.com.
jmewes.com.
Yes.
With the tour dates on there.
Yeah, come see me.
And one more time, can you do the Joker song?
Hey, there's Batman. What are you gonna do? Why so serious? It's me. It's him. No.
Dude, you're the best. Did you ever see like, remember like in the 11th hour, I was like I reached out, I was like, hey man, like can I get your permission to put you in the credits of my comedy special?
Yeah.
And like you're like an Easter egg that comes like dead last, like in the credits, and it's just this wonderful shot where you fire the tennis ball at my face.
I was super happy. I'm telling you,
dude, I love it,
because I kept being like, oh my god, I wonder if they're gonna use this ever. And then I was excited to see. So yes,
everybody cheers when they see you.
Yeah,
nice.
It meant the world to me, and thank you for that. Thank you for doing this.
No, thank you.
I will say, having just earlier today listened to our first episode with you. God, I think I've gotten better at doing this in general. I think that this is a wildly better episode, and I feel like I owe you an apology for dragging you through the garbage that we recorded.
You didn't know. I had fun. I had fun. I felt, you know what, it was funny for me because I was like, oh my God, I hope people want to, like, I was trying to like look at your other episodes. And I'm like, oh my God, like, is anyone going to want to listen? Because even if people are watching, it did. And that's why I was happy. Not so much for you, but because I'm like, I'm sure when people are like, oh, his new episode's out. Oh, he's got J Mewes on. No
way.
But I was super stoked. So, yeah, no, I thought it was great then, and I think it's great now. So
well, thank you, man. I think I'm just, like, critical of myself. And
I get it. I'm the same way. Still, like, years, like we said, 30 years. And I still, like, you know, even this week I did my amusing stories at the Chronic Con, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was different because it was at a comic convention, not a comedy club. Was it as good? Was people, you know. So, I think that's just the way it is, right?
This makes you guys so great.
It's the way
you're hard on
man.
yourselves.
Thank you.
We're hard on ourselves, but we got to give ourselves credit for looking great and being 50.
50 and Geminis, man. And
Geminis,
I love that.
Gemini man.
Yeah, we'll let you get back to your family.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Dude, much love, brother. Yeah, dude. J Mewes, man. It's like he's a kindred spirit, and I really like him a lot. I also really like being here at the Radical Ranch a lot. And I like you a lot for sticking around to the end of the podcast. I was going to keep this a secret, but soon you're going to be seeing, if you're watching on YouTube, episodes being recorded in a new mobile podcast studio, one which lives in Tennessee, because there's just so darn many people to talk to in Nashville. It's ridiculous. It's rad. And for people watching on YouTube, Daniel, give them a look at this thing. It's wrapped in camo. It's so badass. You might have to go out there, Daniel. What a champ. Get a look at that thing. Oof. It is so beautiful. And dude, check it out. I already got in my first accident with it. I mean, it was only a parked car, and I found the owner like right away. I was like, dude, I gotta fix your shit. Man, what are you gonna do? I'm a dummy. I'm a super dummy too. You're gonna love that show. Everybody, be well. Thank you. And I'm actually going to go fuck off in this new RV and just go camp out with my new dog, Moon Pie. I love you all. You. Hey, everybody, and welcome to a dark, wild ride with Steve-O. We've got dark humor galore. It's Sam Morril, and man, do I love this guy. He was in the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. He's got crazy stuff to tell us about that. He really gets too dark sometimes, and he's going to tell us exactly what that's all about. Plus, it doesn't get a lot darker than the story about me with that man's wife. Whew, telling you, this one really is a little bit shadier than normal. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Morril.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, did I say that right?
You fucking nailed it. Morril. No one ever gets it right, and I don't like to correct people.
What did they say, moral?
Moral, yeah.
Moral
phonetically it looks moral, but it's not, you know.
Yeah.
Look at these dates.
Yeah, I'm on the road hard.
Dude, you're playing Madison Square Gardens all by yourself?
The theater, yeah. There's the MSG, which is like, I don't know, like 18,000 people. That's where like Bill Burr's playing. I'm playing the theater, which is like 53 or 5,400, I think.
Well, that's still pretty
cool. Yeah,
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. I'm a native New Yorker, so that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest venue you've done?
Oh, I mean, I used to open for like, you know, comics, so I'd open in bigger shows, but it's the bigger shows that it's the biggest show I've done for my show.
It's great.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man. This is quite the setup, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. We love it. We've been Doing it for a minute now. It's been
160 something weeks.
Well, no, we're deep in 170s, but whatever.
Well, in New York, no one is just without stuff on their feet.
Right.
Because of rats and shit. Like, this is a very LA, like, you don't just walk around without
He's
shoes.
comfortable with you.
Yeah. I'll take it, yeah. You don't have an odor. I mean, it's nice, and you have an odor.
Right. You don't see many bare feet people walking around New York, but...
I used to have a roommate, and she had the worst smelling feet ever. She would go, like, kayaking in the Hudson River with these shoes on, and then just, like, walk around the shoes, and I'd be like, you smell bad.
Yeah.
And then she'd get offended, but I'm like, well, if I don't say it, like, we're in, like, a one-bedroom together, divided up. It's a tiny place. If you don't say something, you're fucking, you just smell shit all day. But then if you say something, you're an asshole. It's a predicament.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you noticed he doesn't smell.
No.
Yeah, that's good. So I watched Same Time Tomorrow, your Netflix comedy special. I watched it last night, dude. I don't really watch a lot of comedy specials. B, when I do, I don't, like, laugh a lot. And my girl was like, wow, this really has you laughing out loud.
Oh,
like,
thank you, man.
A lot. I super enjoyed it, man. So that came out last year.
Yeah, that was last year. I'll try to tape another one in like March, but
wow, that's a quick turnaround.
For me, it's slow actually, because you just have so much desperation as a comic. Just at first, just being like, I need people to come to the shows. I need people to come to the shows. And now they're finally coming. I can be like, I can take a breath. But no, dude, I did a rooftop one during the pandemic. I was doing a special on random rooftops because I'm like, people are gonna forget about me. I'm nervous. I'm losing steam here. So yeah, brutal.
That sounds like traits of alcoholism.
Yeah, maybe.
Expand on that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we're all, like, addicts and alcoholics in here, like, all sober nerds. And I think that there's just, like, this built-in discomfort, this anxiety, this feeling everything's not going to be okay. Like, I'm not okay. Like, I gotta hurry. I gotta try and do something so I'll be okay.
Yeah, I think, and also in stand-up, it just can go away so easily. I've just watched so many good comics just kind of take their foot off the gas, and you can lose it. You can lose being funny. You can lose the audience. There's so many things you can lose. So I've been so, nervous about it. And then I did a special 2 ago that was on YouTube, and that really helped people come out to shows. It's like over 12 million views on YouTube now. So that, like, just putting out for free. I had big comics being like, don't put out a fucking special for free. You're an idiot. Like, comics I really respect. And I was like, hey, I'm going to do it. I mean, what else am I going to do?
Right.
You're done with the material.
Yeah.
People won't buy it. You put it out. So then I did that. That came out February 2020. So you put out a free special with the hopes to tour.
That was like right when the pandemic started.
Yeah, so everything shut down. I didn't. So that's why I did another rooftop one. So it was just straight fear. It was like, I'm gonna lose everyone who I just got, which I probably wasn't, but that's the panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, you can take a deep breath, and And I am a little hungover, to answer your question. Sure, yeah, it is traits of alcoholism too, probably.
When you were performing on the rooftops in New York, that was during COVID, right?
Oh yeah, and it's just deep mental illness. I mean, you're going where pigeons go to get your self-esteem.
Yeah,
it's deeply dark.
Were people actually coming to watch your set?
Yeah.
How many people showed up?
Yeah, like 30 or 40 a show, but that's great. I mean, what happened was I was doing other people's shows. So you're literally doing a show in like the East River Amphitheater, with like a hobo pissing, and you're 20 feet from them. Like, you're like, holy shit, talk about like New York, everyone in it together. You're really in it together. So, you bomb, you do 10, they're like, every comic stage time so valuable during this pandemic. So every comic is just like, oh shit, I gotta get in the show. So you're like, all right, fuck, you're doing 8 minutes, not 10. And then I was like, fuck this, dude, I'm doing my own. So I just started posting on Instagram, like, if you got a roof, a mic, an amp, and alcohol, I'll come to your roof. And you're like climbing fire escapes, and people were just up there. And I was like, this is fucking cool. So I do an hour, and I just work on stuff.
Yeah. That's sick.
Everybody was wearing masks there.
That's the funny thing is, like, I remember putting out this thing being like, I'm gonna get like canceled if I post a video of like people outdoors not wearing masks. People on Twitter were like trying to ruin your life. They're like, he's a super spreader, and at the time it's like, we don't know shit, you know. So I was like, fuck, cheating some angles of people. I just told during one show, I was like, hey, can everyone just put a mask on for the next like few jokes, and everyone put them on.
That's great.
And I was like, just fucking, that's every laugh of the special. Just edit that in.
It's weird now, like I go to the grocery market and you see like 1 or 2 people with masks, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing wearing a mask?
Yeah, you know, do whatever you want to do. But for me, I was more nervous because those people during COVID were, there were people on Twitter and stuff being like, shame on you for touring during a time like this. I'm like, people have families, you fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Like, people need to work.
Yeah. Did you have your podcast at the time going?
No, we didn't really do that's actually kind of what started the podcast, because the premise of our podcast, it's called We Might Be Drunk. Steve-O, you've been on it.
Yeah, dude, I loved it.
Yeah. It's that Gotham podcast, right?
Yeah, we love doing it, but it started because it was originally called One More Drink, because the idea was like, you know, Mark and I were open micers together, and we would, you know, at first you're open micers, you're drunk every night, and then you start doing the road and you don't get to see each other as much, so you have that one night where you're like, one more drink, dude. Turns into 6 a.m. You're like, what the fuck did we just do to ourselves? It's Tuesday, we're psychos, but this is our free night. So then it's like turned into the spirit of one more drink, we'll keep drinking. And holy shit, it is hard to keep up a drinking podcast, because like I love drinking, but then sometimes it's like oh, we can only record Tuesday at noon. You're like, all right. I guess it's technically called We Might Be Drunk, but there's times where we're like, yeah, we should probably drink.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
like
great,
that.
man.
Yeah.
The pandemic was so gnarly, dude. And outdoor shows started cropping up in LA. There was one that I did quite regularly. I forget even what it was called, but it was they just turned like a parking lot into.
That was Matt Rife's show. The little pickup truck, right?
Was that at the Magic Castle?
No, it was like off Hollywood Boulevard. If I forget what.
Oh, I did that one too. Yeah.
It was in the round. It was pretty cool.
I remember that. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But then the second you go indoors, you're like, oh my! It's like fucking with a condom versus without. If you haven't had sex in 2 years, you're like, man, condoms are great.
Yeah.
But then once you take it off, you're like, oh, that was a fucking ruse, whatever that was. But yeah, we did But then LA, there weren't that many shows, because I was in LA at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I went to New York. LA's got all this outdoor space. There weren't that many shows. You go to New York, they're like, dude, I got a show on 49th and 7th. And you're like, on the street? They're,
the corner.
Everywhere.
Next to the
everywhere was a show.
Yeah.
Literally, people were like, the people that we used to make fun of on the subway who were like, can everyone, I'd like your attention. That's what we turned into. So, you know.
Like buskers?
Basically, everything turned into a fucking, what do you call them? Like, not a
Well, like what Dave Chappelle was doing, he was like 16, 17, just doing stand-up on the street.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I remember, like, my whole thing, like, you know, I had this joke that I really enjoyed, and I was kind of scared to say it, but I was like, hey, you know, like, this pandemic, sure, it's really upsetting to see that, you know, thousands of people are dying every day, but I'm just a, like, curious guy. I couldn't help but wonder, like, how many people die anyway?
Right.
So I Googled it. I Googled it, and, you know, the last, like, reliable statistics they had said that approximately 7,500 Americans die on average every single day. But that's not what shocked me. What shocked me was how many Americans are born every single day. 11,000.
Wow.
Which begs the question, should the coronavirus not pick up the pace? And
yeah, that would.
I enjoyed that joke, and when I
makes you think the Chinese are onto something,
right? And it got a laugh, and I was like, oh wow, dude, that's like my like I'm very light on topical humor.
I love topical jokes. I love a good topical joke. You know, it's like it's because there's something great about burning a joke and being like, that's that. You know, I miss like monologues, late night monologues. Yeah. You know, I love that, the spirit of those types of jokes where you're like, oh, the Gilgo Beach murders in the news, like something like that. But you just burn it, and that's that. And it's you don't have to worry about honing a joke for another special. You just fucking throw it into the world, and you get points for, you know, the shelf life of it. You're like, oh, this was
right.
Yeah, you interned or you worked for?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah,
was that Colbert?
Yeah.
Well, on the daily, the Colbert on Comedy Central.
The report, yeah.
So that was your job coming up with jokes, or what'd you do there?
No, we were like bitches. No, I didn't come up with. I wish.
Got no,
I pitched them a joke, they'd fucking fire me in a second. No, I was like, coffee runs, like picking up Steve and his falafel. You know, his BLT with 1 full tomato. I still remember the order. He's like a BLT with 1 full tomato. I'm like, all right. I mean, are they skimping on tomato? What's the fucking story here, Steven? But no, he was a cool boss. He was very nice to everybody, and that show was legendary. You know?
Yeah,
big time.
Of course,
big time. Remember when we were in New York?
We went to the Colbert show.
Nobody set it up, nothing like that. We were just like, oh, let's go to the Colbert show.
Because they had a line down the fucking whatever.
So we were unannounced. We just showed up at the Colbert, and I'm like, maybe they'll be stoked I'm here. I don't know. So we go like right to the front of the line. And I'm like, I'm here, and they're like, oh, cool. So they let us in, like just as
to the green room,
just as like regular old spectators.
Yeah.
And the second that we were unsupervised, we just like barged down into the guts of the place. And like we're just chilling there. Like Stephen Colbert walks by, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, we have footage of that.
Yeah, we were so not supposed to be there at all.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember you had the camera
famous
going.
People should be assassins. That's like a great,
you never see it coming.
Yeah. You're just like, well, Steve-O's not going to shoot the president. He's a fun guy.
Yeah, he was like, hey, Steve-O, huge fan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cool, thanks.
Right.
Oh my God, it's Stephen Colbert.
Right, and we didn't make a big deal out of it. He was super cool. And
you guys
gracious.
were on that like Viacom family, right?
Yeah,
got that little, you know.
What's the Viacom?
CBS.
Well, it's like
Viacom
MTV, Comedy Central. That was all like the same.
I don't know that
BET.
CBS,
BT, VH1.
yeah, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central.
That was a big dude. They fucking. That's a big sinking ship right there.
Nickelodeon.
No, everything, the whole thing. That was fucking like Netflix kind of.
Yeah.
But that was everything. Think about when cable was around. Yeah.
Now it's all just. I mean, it's all just streaming.
Now it's
platforms.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I think Viacom's in better shape than what is it? Time Warner Discovery.
Yeah, I guess.
AOL.
That's HBO Max, Time Warner. It's all that. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy.
Pretty soon they're just going to start buying out all these things. It's going to be like 3 main companies at the end of it.
Well, you got to wonder. Like, everything feels like it's going to turn into one big company because they gobble up this and that, and it's all. But
Monopoly.
Then the world changes a little bit, and these big, huge things are failing.
Well, Netflix couldn't afford to sustain this business model. That seems why that's part of the strike, right? I mean, $15 for all this shit. Like, I saw some of the money they were throwing around. I'm like, yeah, you can't just fucking do. Look up who they pay. Some shit you've never even heard of. They drop like 900 mil on, and you're like,
yeah,
I've never even heard of that shit.
Yeah, somebody said that was a part of their like strategy was buying out all these like specials, and so they're losing money on a yearly basis, but they're also like gaining the net worth and. You know, because they own these assets. So then the play would be to sell out later.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I mean, their stock in the last 3 months is just fucking through the roof.
Yeah. Is that because they're not paying writers? What is it? Actors?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're all going to get replaced by AI, man. This self-driving car shit, like, I mean, literally we're in a car. This could be...
Yeah.
Whoever drove here is fucking finished. That's it. No, San Francisco, they have like the sensor driving car. That's like how dystopian this future is. They'll just have the cars driving through San Francisco. The people are on the street. The cars are driven by no one.
Yeah.
The people have squeegees. They're fucking probably get money. There's no one in the car.
Are they actually like...
Yeah, they're starting to roll that out. But like here, I don't know in New York, but like here they like if you order a Postmates in West Hollywood, they have a little robot that comes to your thing. You put it in, and just you see it riding on the street.
I've seen those. Around
yeah, but
here.
how long do you think that could last though? Because I've
Forever.
seen, but people just start
better.
destroying.
What do you mean? How long is it gonna
last? No, I know, but
last?
people are destroying them, stealing the food. Like,
really?
You can't get in.
Yeah. No, dude.
The Domino's like 2 years ago, they rolled out a selfless delivery driver. They come. they'll come to your like the front. What, you don't believe that?
No, I'm just laughing because Isaac's bringing up YouTube videos with ads on it. Isaac,
does Steve not pay you enough to fucking? That's why people complain that there's ads on the podcast, is because they have this type of situation to where they have to fucking log into the podcast and then they have to watch bullshit local ads and then ads on top of it. It's like,
right. Okay.
No, but so anyway, yeah, like Domino's Pizza is doing the self-driving and they pull up to your curb. The only problem that AI has that they're trying to solve is from the car to your door. Like the robot can't make it upstairs, but there's that company that's like making it so that they can walk upstairs. So once they like nail that,
once they can get a Slinky crack this code, they can't.
An AI Slinky.
By the way, the other thing I heard about is like these cars, they drive so cautiously because it's not they're going by sensors. So a person maybe could like fill in a gap. So it's like the robots, they drive like Canadians basically. They're like slow. They kind of you know. But
well, Elon Musk was saying, so there's like 44,000 deaths a year from like vehicles in America, right? So he's like, if I can get that number down to 4,000, he's like, what the people are going to do is they're still going to complain because, oh my God, you see that self-driving car, it got in a crash. But he's like, we just got that number from 40,000 down to 4,000. So there's still some problems with it, but I think like...
Yeah, well, there's definitely some problems with that thinking. Because on a case-by-case basis, if you can actually assign blame for a death to someone, that person's in trouble. Like, and if he's the guy that you can assign the blame to because he's responsible for the self-driving situation, then he stands to be in a lot of trouble. So,
but even if they get that number down significantly?
Sure, yes, in a big picture. But it's kind of like you can... There's 3 people in the boat, you know, like only like 2 people can survive. Like you got to throw somebody out. Like, yeah, you saved 2 lives, but you also killed somebody.
I wonder if the Japanese self-driving cars are going to be worse drivers.
Yeah. Or the female.
Yeah, the female AI, yeah. You get the voice, but I can't drive. I have a license, but I'm like a shit. I shouldn't have a license. I'm a New Yorker. We don't drive.
I grew up in London, England, and I never even learned how to drive until I turned 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
And then I got my first DUI within 6 months, and I got my second DUI within 1 month of getting my license back from my first DUI.
Well, this is like the case for the self-driving cars. They're not getting drunk, right? One time I was getting blown in a car, like in a taxi cab in New York, and the driver said, "You know, a person's driving this car." Really? And that's the first time I thought, like, fucking self-driving, dude. Robots. Get the robot cars.
That's because everybody takes taxis in New York, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
well, Taxi Cab Confessions in New York was a good TV
shit
show.
They've seen. But right now we're losing the cabs to the Uber. That's what you'll get is like Ubers and Lyfts. Yeah. So I try not to take those, but then like you'll tell that to your black friend, they're like, "Fuck yellow cabs." You're like, "All right, they're not perfect, you know." You have to dabble.
How did you respond to the taxi driver saying that someone was driving the car?
I was like, sorry. I didn't know what to say. I don't know what he said. And then she stopped, and we just went into my apartment.
Oh.
How long ago was this?
It was years. I was very young, you know. But yeah, no, it's not like a proud story, you know.
6 months ago.
I mean, it's kind of proud. It's pretty cool, but
it's not a proud story like the all boys school stories.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Oh, yeah, I went to the all-boys school. Yeah, we would, that's a real story. My friend died. We used to all jack off together, and I did lose I cut a good part of that joke because it was like too sad. It was making people too sad. But yeah, we used to all... There were 4 of us. We would watch. We were like 7th grade. So like, by the way, this is another bit that if I do in a black crowd, they're just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "We all used to jack off together," and they're like, "No, we did not." I'm like, "Oh, sorry," you know. But yeah, we used to. We would like, these are me and 3 white kids, and we would masturbate and in the same room. But you know, we guarded our penis. Yeah, as I said, we kept it civilized, but we're watching porn.
They used pillows.
Yeah, to show
kind of like the wall at the urinal.
Yeah,
I remember
it was like a gentleman's club. That was how. And we jack off to porn, and look, we were kids, so we didn't last long. It's like we're like, oh my god, titties! You just come.
Would you like make little games out of it, like, oh, I came first? Like,
yeah, there was
play hooky cookie.
Well, I think that was part of it. Is the guy? I said it was something about how I think I cut something about how he like came in order, like he died. He came first, and then he was also the first to die. And I was like, "Fuck! I hope we don't die in that order." Because I was second. But yeah, he was a heroin addict, so he passed away. But yeah, no, we would. I mean, it's such a weird thing. Yeah, all boys school. We would just. That was kind of what we didn't really know girls yet, so you end up meeting girls in the area. But yeah, that was after school. We'd get baked and do that shit. And the weed and the jacking off together is a bad combo, because while you're jacking off, you're like, is this weird that I'm jacking off with a bunch of other children? And then you're like, no, that's just the weed.
Yeah, I mean, but like being a young kid with all that testosterone, like I remember I'd have buddies over in 8th grade, and like we'd be on the trampoline, and my one buddy would be like, I'm just going to go jack off in your bathroom real quick. And you're like, dude, like he's all happy.
Yeah, that's you stop saying that as an adult.
Yeah,
as an adult, you just do. You just jerk off.
You just do it.
You tell anybody.
You just say, I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I need to take a number 3.
I love that that you tell us here that you had a line where I cut jokes because your humor it leans dark.
Well, yeah, you got to figure out where the line is, and like I always say about stand-up, it's like one of the only things, like you don't really focus test movies, right? You kind of like Scorsese's not like take this shit to Kansas, let's see what they think. He's just like, this is the movie. But with stand-up, you go on the road, you see what is working, what's not working, and it should work everywhere in my mind. So yeah, that was one part where I had a joke about speaking at the funeral and like making jokes about it, like it's what he would have wanted. And I was like, it was too much for people. They were like, this is too dark. But yeah, I mean, of course we made jokes about it. You know, it's like you make jokes
about everything.
I think you actually left that in the special.
Oh, I leave that part? Maybe I cut. There was some parts I definitely cut. Yeah. I don't even remember what I kept in. No, but he, you know, he really would have found it. I wouldn't do jokes about that. You know, your friends are the ones that laugh at your darkest shit. They're your friends. So he would have found this so funny. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost like a little homage to your buddy who you lost. So it was a fun thing to throw in there. But
yeah,
and all my friends who I grew up with were like, I fucking love that I know who that is, and I love that was in there. And of course, those are the jokes your mom's like, I should have like bailed 10 minutes early. You know, you see, I used to have a bit about, is a true story about how I met this girl like years ago on an app, and she was like super hot, and I remember we like kissed on a first date, and I kissed her, and then I like it was like a cold New York winter. She was so proper. She was like, oh my, I didn't expect that. And I just never heard from her again. And then 3 months later, on like a Friday afternoon, she just texted me, where are you? I'm at lunch with my parents, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm at lunch with my folks. She goes, I want to see you and I want to get freaky with you, which I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this means. So I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, which I don't know how to respond to a text like that. And she writes, do you want to get your dick sucked or not? And I'm like a kid, so I'm like, fuck yeah. So I, you know, in the bit, I'm like, so I reveal that I'm with my parents, so I excused myself from lunch with my parents, took the phone call, and the line that's like the biggest laugh is I lied to my mom, and I was like, I got to get out of here. This audition just came up, and my mom goes, go get him, Sammy. And I was like, ugh, you know,
thinking about
I feel disgusting. Yeah, like my mom's cheering on my quest for a blowjob, and it's like a long story, but what happens in real life and in a bit is she's going down to me at her place, and a dude just comes out and is like, they were expecting me to be cool with this, but he's just like, are we gonna do this? And I was like, are you fucking crazy? So this is like a long bit, and my mom, I see her face in the crowd, and I just see her do this. And I'm just like, oh God, you couldn't have sat her like 4 rows further so I didn't have to see that shit.
Yeah.
Now I like hate myself, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? Change my act? It's my act. Right. I was working, I was taping a special, and my mom was in the crowd. She wanted to be supportive, but you know.
But when she asked you to come to the show, where you're like, fuck.
I just always tell her there might be stuff that you don't love. What I always say is like, who's regarded as the greatest comedian ever? And she'll say Richard Pryor, and I'm like, do you think his mom was cool with all his shit? I'm sure she was like, do you think Pryor's mom was like, could you lose the freebasing chunk? And he's like, that's the best fucking chunk, you know?
Right. Yeah, that was the most uncomfortable. I saw you at a show when your family came, and we knew the bit was coming, and you
because it's not for them. Well, it's a bonus if they like it, but you can't write jokes so you're like, you know who will find this funny? Mom. Well, you can't do that.
His bit in particular was him busting a nut out of an airplane, and so like so he came back. I just remember you were just like giggling like.
And the difference when I'm talking about jacking off, like my show's multimedia, so like I tell a story and then I show it happening, so like I scream.
So his sister's there, his dad, his dad's wife, his like their kids, front fucking row.
Right, it's a little different.
Yeah, you can't really just like block that one out, huh?
Yeah, a picture's 1,000 words.
That's amazing. Well, that's the thing is like, you know, I did a show like a year ago at the Beacon Theater in New York, and at the time it was the biggest show I'd ever done. It was a big deal. My mom's there, and my therapist is sitting right behind her, which, by the way, Freud would fucking have a field day with this shit. I'm asking him, I'm like, did she hate this joke I told? He goes, I didn't see her laugh. And I was like, man, he's like my spy. This is so crazy. But, you know, not all the jokes are for them.
Right. I've always told my dad, my family, not to base their opinion of the show on the material, rather on the audience reaction to the material. I said, if the crowd is laughing, then that's all you need to worry about.
I feel like Hitler said that to his parents too. They're loving it, so you should really try to give it up.
Everybody's with me here.
No, you know, it is hard because I have certain bits. I remember I was in a bar in Vermont and a dude just fucking attacked me. He was a crazy guy, and
what'd you say to piss him off?
Well, he was in a blackout, and he walks over to me and he goes, University of Vermont. I'm with 3 other comedians, you know, and I said, no. And he goes, master's degree. And I said, you're getting colder, just being silly. And he goes, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And I was like, what? And he goes, I was just kind of like fucked, ignoring him. And he goes, I'm going to beat the shit out of all of you, is what he said. But he's only looking at me. So I was kind of like, all right, whatever, ignore him. As I turn around, he takes a pint glass and smashes it over my head. And I just turn around like, what the fuck? And we all kind of stand up, and then he runs, and the cops got him, and he went for the cop's gun. But, you know, yeah, they didn't.
They don't like that.
Well, if you're white, you get to live, apparently. And turns out he was a therapist and whatever. So this whole crazy story happens, and my mom is like so upset by it. And I was like, well, Mom, here's what happened. I got attacked, and my instinct was, how can I win in the end? And I win in the end by making it a bit and a special. Like that is us taking control of bad shit in our life. Same with the story of the guy walking in. By the way, if I did that to a woman, my fucking career would be over. If I brought a woman home and I was just like, hey, I got another guy in the closet right here.
Yeah.
That's
fuck my friend.
That's career ending shit.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, like, yeah, that will traumatize you a little bit, turn into a bit. Now I'm happy. I win. It's like you get laughs from that story. Really, it's you taking the power back in the story. So that's how I try to explain it to her. This is me winning in the end. Yeah. Even if I'm the butt of the joke, I still get to win.
That's a good way to look at it, for sure.
Did you ever hear that comedian on the podcast talk about his buddy? He was like, I'm not gonna say who, but he's like, you know, this chick took me home. She was too fucked up. He's like, she was tying me up. To you know, that's what she was into. She tied me up, and I'm sitting there tied up, and she passes out. And then her dad walks in the door, and then he was like, "Oh fuck!" Like her dad's home, and her dad comes
naked.
Yeah, butt naked.
Okay.
Her dad walks in, and he pulls down his pants and starts sucking his dick.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait,
that's not a real story.
What?
I thought you said he was naked after he pulled down his pants.
A totally different direction than I thought.
Yeah, he was probably getting there or whatever. Naked or not, the story is the dad.
Well, it doesn't check out.
Yeah. Detective Steve-O's hot on the case. Yeah. You're full of shit.
No, that's legit. That's what I heard him say.
That's a bad.
And then they asked,
ending.
"Did you bust a nut?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, you busted a nut."
Damn, that's a dark fucking night. I mean, you definitely got a case, I think.
I remember.
Can you imagine taking him to court?
Like
it just keeps going. He fucking blew me.
To relive the moment.
Yeah. And she's the accomplice. What is she? I mean, yeah. What do you say if your dad does that? That's a weird relationship.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Sorry to throw a wrench in this conversation, but Yeah, no, that's those. It was like, what the fuck?
There's a particularly fun story where we were filming Wild Boys in Thailand, and I was with this met this lady at the bar, and she said, "Come on back to my house, we'll drink some more." I said, "Okay," and it was me and a producer guy. We go back, and then so the next thing you know, the producer guy is getting head in this lady's bedroom, and her husband walks into the room, and the producer guy says, "Get the fuck out of here," and the husband says, "It's cool. I'll just watch." And the producer guy says, "It's not fucking cool. Get the fuck out of here!" He kicks him out of his own bedroom, and then whatever.
Who's the bad guy in that scenario? That's a tough one.
And then
were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh my god!
I witnessed the whole thing. The producer guy kind of got frustrated with the situation. He left, but I stayed. I hung out, and I obliged, man. I was like, "Yeah, you can watch me."
Are you serious?
Really cool. Yeah,
wow.
the guy gave me a condom, and I humped his wife in front of him.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Steven.
That is crazy.
It happened, and now I'm taking the power back.
Sounds like you're just fucking a guy's wife. I don't know. I'm taking the power back.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a win-win.
Wow.
I'm winning again.
You ever hear there was this comic as a joke? His name's Dwight York. His joke I love where he goes, "My wife said the best sex we ever had is when I snuck in through the window wearing a ski mask. I have no idea what she's talking about." It's a great fucking joke.
It's a good one. Who'd you just pull up here?
No, it's not him. That's a football player.
That's a guy who'd kick your ass.
No, he's like a bald guy with long hair.
So growing up in New York City.
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Growing up in New York City, what's the craziest subway story that you have?
I have so many. True story. I used to have a bit about this too, but a true story. I was on a train with a girl I was dating once, and a guy started jacking off to her on the train. I mean, she was hot, but still, it's a crazy. I mean, even I waited till we got home, But he's just rubbing one out to her, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And she was kind of like one of the. So she like pushed me to say something. She's like, "Well, you need to say something." I'm like, "What do you want me to fucking say to this guy? He's clearly insane." So I was like, "Hey, man, you got to cut it out." And he said I was doing it to you. And in the joke, I walk back to her and I go, "You're not going to say something?"
That's good.
I flip it on her. But yeah, no, that was a weird one. The guys rubbing one out on the train that was such a constant. Is like, yeah, I mean, that's your home.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, we're in your home right now, so you get to jack off, I guess. That was a bad one. I mean, we weren't that bad kids, but yeah, I mean, I saw a crazy one was a person jumped out of a building once and landed like 10 feet in front of me. That was a fucking bad one. Yeah, I was walking to the bus and
Jesus.
And a lady took her life by jumping out of a building and splat. If I didn't take my Metro card out, I'm fucking dead. So that was crazy if I didn't stop.
Well, you stopped to take it out?
Yeah, I stopped. I was like, I was with a friend. I was like, hold on, I got to get my Metro card out. And splat.
Wow.
And she didn't die
She would have
instantly.
landed on you.
Oh, without question.
How old were you?
6th grade. I wouldn't have. I got me out of a history test the next day that I did not study for, but it was. I remember calling a friend about. Yeah, well, she hits the ground splat and then doesn't die instantly, which I remember being like, when that happens, it's like you feel like you're like your mind does shit to protect you. We're like, did I stumble onto a movie set or something? Yeah. Like clearly this isn't real. So, but then I see people all are freaked out, and my friend's mom was with them, and they were behind me. They're like 20 steps behind me. And she like, is like, is everyone okay? And then someone runs into a store to get her a blanket, which I'm like, because she said, "I'm cold." Those were her last words. "I'm cold."
Oh, she was still able to talk.
Still able to talk, but like on her face. Like it was like fucked up. She went face down, splat. And I guess they made out. I don't even know if she was able to say it, well, but she said, "I'm cold." And someone caught that blanket and died. And I remember I called my friend. I had a good friend and his mom was just fucking batshit insane. So I remember I called him to like tell him what happened. I just needed to tell someone. My parents weren't home, you know, they were working, and I called him, and his mom picked up the phone. He wasn't home, and she was like, she just was one of those people that would talk about herself for like 20 minutes to a kid. It was like inappropriate. It was like she was talking, so she's like 20 minutes, and then I did this, and then this happened, and then I was like, She's like, how was your day? I was like, I just saw someone die, and she was like, well, Elliot's not home right now. That's how it ended. I was like, what a fucking weird convo. And yeah, and my school, they were really nice. They all called to check on us, and but yeah, crazy shit to see.
Is it weird that I'm dying to know how high she jumped from?
My guess would, I didn't see, but it wasn't that tall a building. That's probably why she didn't die instantly. I knew a kid who died that way too, commit suicide.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was then angry. You're angry for a sec because you're like, you could have fucking killed it. Be an adult and kill yourself with pills or something, you know?
Or like be like Samsung and have suicide nets around your building at least.
That would be fucking cool.
I think pretty recently somebody in New York just jumped off a really high building.
I'm sure it happens
like
daily.
His body hit something and cut in half on the way down.
Oh, I saw that on TMZ. Yeah.
It's pretty gnarly.
That's like the way people die in like comedies, you know, like they kill the villain where they fall through a spike or something. Yeah, or like fucking the end of the South Park movie. You know, he just throws the guy through the Saddam. He throws him through the spike.
I mean, have you seen anybody die like in front of your face? I've never either. Is that the only time?
No, it's another time.
That's like the difference between like New York and here.
Yeah, there's just so many people, as you said. It's like people are gonna. A new person was born after that, so you know.
Like 3 more.
Watching people die is super gnarly.
It was awful.
I've had people die in my arms like multiple times. People overdose.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like super heavy, and then I have to go and like call their parents and like.
Wow.
It's super fucked.
When they die in your arms, like they're like having an overdose, they're like convulsing in your arms.
No, it's like after, and there's no really convulsing, but I get to the like. Right after they die, and I'm trying to like hit them with Narcan and stuff like that. And this has happened not even in the sober living, when I was using too. People would just die right.
Do they poop when you're holding them? No. That's a myth.
No, I mean I don't know. I didn't smell anything, or I didn't feel it.
Yeah. Vinny.
I guess you're not supposed. That's not the thing you're supposed to do first. Someone dies, you're on. Hold on. Let me just check real quick. Feel that? It's official, everybody. Yeah.
Vinny was a prolific IV heroin user.
Oh wow!
He lived in Skid Row around here.
Wow, you're very overweight for a heroin addict. That's crazy.
I know. Well, I gained a lot of weight during sobriety.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
Probably
That's
like
good.
100 and some pounds.
Lived in a porta potty.
Oh wow!
It was a handicapped, a wheelchair accessible porta potty, so it was more luxurious.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
For fun, he would just shoot up water because he likes shooting up so much.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I loved it.
And
everything about the lifestyle I loved.
So you still would do that now or no?
No, not now. No.
Damn, needles
shot up LSD.
Really?
Yeah, anything that you could put in a needle, I've.
Do you ever put it in your dick, like in train spotting?
No.
Where's the craziest place you ever shot up?
My feet. Yeah.
Because of the vein there.
Yeah. Well, the veins are like super small on your feet, but I just shot out all my veins at a point where I just like they're just all scars, so I just couldn't hit anymore. And I'm not gonna like snort heroin because pussy shit. So it's like.
Is that why you have sleeves? I heard like people like have like, I mean, not everybody.
Like tattoo sleeves?
But like where they they'd have tits and they'd shoot up right between the tits where the veins are. Or something
I didn't have sleeves when I was getting loaded. All my tattoos are in sobriety.
Because why would you waste money on tattoos when you need
exactly?
That's a good point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Man, that's fascinating stuff, man.
Who's the other person you saw die?
It was just a random person, like the zip up on the street. It wasn't as dramatic. And then I knew a kid. It's the reason I never did coke, because I knew a kid who he was like a couple years older than me, but I knew him, and he just jumped out of a 30-story building and splat. Yeah, just did a ton of coke.
Yeah. You ever OD'd on coke?
Not that I'm aware of. What's the connection between the jumping out of the 30-story window and the blow? I
asked him if he's ever seen anybody else die.
So
I didn't see him die. I didn't see that.
Oh, so 2 people jumped off of a building.
Yeah, he's another dude who jumped off a building that was just connected. Yeah.
And 30 stories will do the trick.
That'll do the trick
for sure.
And then the person in New York was 750 feet. I think the tallest building in downtown LA is like 980 feet. So that's a fucking tall ass building.
I mean, it's 10 foot per story. So 750, that's 75 stories.
It's the tallest building in downtown LA, what'd I say?
Like, do you think you're alive during the whole fall? Like, or do you think you might have like a heart attack or something?
I think, and this might be a little bit dark, that it's a really reasonably good way to go. Not as good as a plane crash. And I feel strongly about this. A plane crash is the best way to go because right at the moment that you realize the plane is really going down, like you have long enough to deliberately think your last thought, but not so long that you can morbidly dwell on it, or you know.
I feel like I'm not gonna have a profound last thought though. I feel like I in theory, I bet I have some, yeah, but then I'm like poop, then just splat.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like the best way for me to go would be like I'm in the mafia and somebody just comes up the back of the head.
That's a good one. But
no, the best way to go would have to be an overdose.
No, because then you're like
just
either like who the fuck
shit.
did this to me, or I guess you don't even have time to think that.
Yeah, you don't have time.
You're
to
like,
think
hey,
that.
John.
But in Goodfellas, Pesci goes no, he knows.
Well, Pesci. Well, yeah, and then in Casino, he died by baseball bat. I think that would be the fucking
That's
worst.
a bad
way to go.
one.
That's a bad one.
Pesci's had some bad deaths.
Yeah,
That's fucking, yeah. Casino, that ending of Casino is as dark as it gets.
just someone up with a metal baseball bat.
Watching
right in
your brother.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know Joe Pesci was like a
Song and dance guy,
Yeah,
right?
he was like a prolific singer.
Yeah, there's albums of it. It's so funny. Just people have talents, man. Like showbiz people. It's so weird when you just see an actor and you're like, oh yeah, I was watching the new season of Only Murders in the Building, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course Meryl Streep can sing. It's yeah, that would be fucking weird if she. Although it'd be way funnier if she just had like a really bad voice, and they're like, that's Streep, we got to keep it in, you know. But have you ever heard like Nicholson will sing at the end of movies? Like that movie did It's complicated. Not it's complicated. Fuck. It's with Something's Got to Give with Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's singing La Vie en Rose in the credits, and you're like, he's kind of got a bad voice.
I think he was singing in that Sandler movie too.
He kind of sounded good there.
Where
though.
they were like lawyers or something.
Yeah.
The same with like Clint Eastwood. It's like everyone wants to do other shit. At the end of Gran Torino, it's like this cool ending, and then you just hear Eastwood singing. You're like, this guy fucking sucks.
So
It's weird to make an awesome movie, and then you're just like, the hell is that shit?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Have you been in any movies?
Just briefly, I was in the Joker for. Yeah, I was a brief. I played a stand-up comic. Quite the fucking acting turn
Method
I pulled
acting.
off. Yeah. No, I played a comic, and it was a cool role to get to do. By the way, a woman trolled me once. I did a bad joke on Twitter. She thought so. She posted that clip of Joaquin Phoenix. I guess that means you're like a hack because he's bad at comedy. And I'm like, I'm literally in that scene, and this woman doesn't know that. That's like her thing of being like, you suck. I'm like, no, I'm in that movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a fun experience. Like, you know, Todd Phillips just like saw stand-up of me and Gary Goldman, and he put us in that movie. And Goldman's a great comic, and he was so fucking nice, Todd Phillips. But I remember Gary shot right before me, so in the scene, Gary is on stage. Joaquin Phoenix is in the crowd, and it's supposed to be the scene to be like he doesn't get comedy because he's laughing at the wrong parts of the joke, but Gary doesn't know that. So there's some guy is going like, ha, and Gary's like, what the fuck? So Gary's like about to be like, fuck you, dude, and then finally notice it. Like he was this close to taking Joaquin's head off, and then being like, oh shit, that's Joaquin Phoenix. It's for the movie. They didn't tell me, so I would be on guard. Like, what the fuck? But
do you have any interest, any more interest in acting?
Should I make? I'm not like that type of stuff is super fun. Obviously,
For sure.
I love movies, so sure. But I'm not like I don't.
You're not pursuing.
I have no plans to be like, oh, you know, I'd really like to get deep in a character. No, but I love movies, so I'm writing something I'm going to make myself, like a web thing I'm going to make with my friend Gary Veeder, and it's really funny. It's like it's going to be out hopefully soon. We'll shoot it soon. I mean,
it's hard for me to believe that a movie as big as The Joker can get away with shooting a scene and like it's like the guy on stage in the scene doesn't know that it's a scene.
Well, that's I mean, first off, he's just a really good actor. You know, Joaquin Phoenix. It's like you're like, who the fuck is better than that guy? He's like as good as anybody, right?
Yeah.
And then Todd Phillips just knows. He's so good. Todd Phillips is like a great combination of like knowing comedy, and then just knowing how to make a good drama too. But I mean, Todd Phillips made the best comedies like the last 20
Hangover.
years. Old School, The Hangover,
Yeah.
Road Trip, they're like all great movies.
Wow, Road Trip with Tom Green.
It's a great movie, dude.
You know, dude, I think that is... Road Trip was such a better movie than American Pie. And American
I like
For
American
sure.
Pie, but Road Trip's amazing. Yeah, it's
American
just-
Pie 1 was good. The rest were okay.
And they came out about the same time, right?
Road Trip was phenomenal.
Road Trip and American
Because
Pie.
Road Trip
It holds
was
up.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
We just watched
Totally
it
holds up.
recently, and it really holds up. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit. Dude, yeah. Oh, I guess fucking damn. Stifler's in both.
Stifler's in both. He got his
She was hot, too, that
he got
redhead.
his prostate fucking jerked off in there when they went to the sperm clinic.
It's the first time I learned about that.
That was just
The old finger in the butt move, yeah. He's a little too young to be into that, though. I feel like you got to be like at least mid-20s to start taking a finger in the butt. Because where do you go from there?
Yeah, he was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sean William Scott gets bummed on being called Stifler like
George Costanza.
like McLovin.
Yeah,
Like you call McLovin McLovin, like he's bombed.
like
It might,
Yeah.
it might be annoying because they've been in other good stuff. They were in a good movie together. Role Models is great, I thought.
Role Models
Yeah,
is epic. Same
it was
as
really good.
Dude, Where's My Car? But it's
Yeah.
Stifler, dude.
He's been in you're right. He's been in a lot of good stuff. That must be kind of annoying, but you know, it also means you played an iconic character. Isn't that what you want as an actor?
Right.
You get, you know.
Did you have any run-ins with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, we talked after. I was going to talk to him because I don't know about acting really. I'm kind of like, you might be in your own thing. You don't want to deal with me. Maybe your full method. And he took it so seriously, clearly. But I did like, 15 different jokes maybe. They kept me, let me just keep going. It'd be like cut. And I had to get off stage when like Todd would yell, all right, Sam, wrap up. But as a comic, you get the light and you're like, I got like 5 minutes, I'll figure it out. So one of the takes, he goes, Sam, get off. I go, yeah, almost. And he's like, Sam, get the fuck off. I'm like, sorry, I just fucked up your scene, But because they're like following Joaquin Phoenix and I'm just in there. But it was also hilarious because Chris Redd, from SNL is the MC. And he just, his whole line is like, one more time for Sam Morril, which there's no reason they kept that in the movie except that Todd is cool. Like, there's no reason for him to be like, one more time for Sam Morril in the 80s, it was just a funny thing to do. And then he introduces Joaquin Phoenix. So I'm getting to just do material. And Chris Redd's like, fuck you. You get to like flex and have fun. And I'm doing like one line. And
he sold out Madison Square Garden after that.
Yeah. Chris is really funny, though, so I think he was just kind of like annoyed, but we were cracking up about it. And so I just keep changing the material, and it's going well. Like the extras who are expecting me to suck, and I'm like doing my bits, and it's getting big pops in the room because, Todd Phillips is like, you're playing an open micer, and I was like, so you want me to bomb or something? And he goes, well, just do your jokes. I go, I'm not bombing in a fucking big ass movie with my jokes, dude. I'm gonna go up and kill. So he's like, that's fine. So every joke except one kill. One joke fucking ate it. And I don't know, I think it was because it was an act out, but I think it's a funny bit. But I think it was too vulgar, and Todd's like, don't do that joke again. So I was like, all right. So I just kept going. But then at the end of the run, we like paused in the middle, and Joaquin Phoenix is just like standing there, and Todd Phillips is standing there, and Joaquin was like, I really like your jokes. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And then Todd's like, yeah, he just like sits in a room, and like the way you take acting seriously, that's what he does with jokes. And Joaquin's like, it's really cool. I usually don't like love stand up, but I really like.
That's great.
And I really like this. And I was like, oh, he's like, it's not like needy, it's just funny. And I was like, oh, cool, man. I was like, wow, what a cool moment. And then, and I didn't think I didn't tell anyone I was in it because I was like, why are they even keeping me in this movie? It makes no sense. But then it's brought to my attention that all these people are tweeting at me like Sam Morril, he's the Joker's origin story because that's when he descends into madness after he can't follow Sam off on stage. So that's like his most depraved.
So you're responsible for all this shit.
I'm responsible, dude. Maybe Batman's parents would still be alive if it wasn't for my fucking awesome comedy. It's just crazy.
Wait, was that taped at the Cellar?
Dangerfield, which is no longer here. And it's so weird because Rodney's like maybe my favorite comedian ever. Like, how do you not fucking love Rodney Danger? I just did Whitney Cummings' podcast yesterday, and I was telling her how much I love Rodney, and she goes, I'm making a movie about Rodney. Do you want to? And then she like called her wife. She goes, I didn't realize how much you love Rodney. And she's like, do you want to talk to his wife? I was like, fuck yeah. So I'm literally doing a Rodney impression on the phone for Rodney's wife, and she's laughing. I'm like, how fucking weird is this? Where she, you know, I'd be like, I'll tell you, my mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend, you know? And she'd be like, he did another breastfed one. I'll tell you, I was an ugly kid. My mother, she liked to breastfeed me through a straw. I was that ugly, you know? And she's like, that's it. That's the joke. And she was so freaking cool. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, just like chatting with Rodney's. And she seems so sincere and so in love with him still. It's like very cool. But yeah, shit, Rodney Dangerfield, is it get any... I don't know if there's a funnier human. The amount...
You're right.
You see his movies, and every character is just there to serve his jokes. Like, back to school, his wife's like, oh, you're impossible. Oh, yeah? And you're easy, you know? Just sort of
yeah, that's all
you have no taste. You're right, I married you, didn't I? Like, every joke is just like for... I mean, he was the funniest dude ever, so...
Yeah, a buddy of mine was his limo driver, and he's like, I picked him up one time, and we drove to Vegas, and he's like, listen, kid, get there as fast as you can. Don't worry about speeding. I'll take care of everything. So he was hauling ass to Vegas. He got pulled over, and he rolled down the window. He's like, send the guy to the back. And so the cop went to the back, and he's like, all right, you're free to go.
Wow.
Just let him off of a ticket.
Because what are you going to do? Give Rodney a ticket? That's what his wife said to me. She goes, I'll tell you a Rodney joke that no one's ever heard. And I was like, please. And she told me this story that he had brain surgery, and they were like, maybe this is going to affect his speech, and he's not going to make it. And the first thing that happens when he comes out is, you know, of the surgery is they say, you know, Rodney, did you cough anything up? And he goes, yeah, 500 weeks ago to a whore. 500, I fucked the joke up. Let me redo that. Did you cough anything up? Yeah, $500 last week to a whore is what he said. Like, oh my God.
That's funny.
I blew the joke. But yeah, he's...
Yeah, he would just go on stage wearing a robe and just his balls hanging out.
Yeah, that's what they say. We just, like, his balls would always be out. What a weird...
He was like a carpenter or did construction up until 50 or something.
Aluminum siding, I think.
Yeah, he gave up on comedy, then he came back at 50. I mean, that's...
It's so weird.
Wow, man.
Legend. One of the funniest people of all time.
Yeah, who was telling that story of like he'd be walking through Vegas, and maybe it was Bert Kreischer was talking about it, where he'd just be walking with a bunch of guys, and he'd be like, all right, everybody come, huddle up. And then he'd like take a rip of weed, and he's like, all right, break it up. And then he'd just keep going.
He used to go to the comic strip, apparently, which is like the other club, and he was like, let's do drugs here so I don't have to do them at my club. He was just like popping in their club. Like, thanks for coming. He's like, no, this is where I'm going to do drugs. I'm not going to do them in my club. That'd be a bad look. But yeah, Dangerfields was like the coolest club in the 80s. It looked like just like all those great shows. But by the time I went there, it was pretty run down and a dump. And that's why I work well for that scene, The Joker. But like, man, I never really worked there. I remember auditioning once, and every time I went up there, I kind of ate it. It was kind of just not the best comedy crowds, but I killed the audition, and they still didn't pass me. And the reasoning was fair. She was just like, yeah, you really did great, but I just don't think your humor will work here. And I was like, fair, you know.
Oh, so that's just auditioning to get spots at the club?
Yeah, it was at a time where I just was like, I felt not comfortable enough at any club, and I was just, even if I was in at clubs, I would be trying to get in other clubs. So like, well, maybe my spots will dry up here, and then I can go up here. But every club would just kind of be hot on you for a minute and then cold on you. Mm-hmm. And thank God for the Comedy Cellar now. They're pretty consistent. But
yeah,
you know, it was always like, you know, I got to stay fresh. When I'm on the road, I'll do my long shows, but in the city, I gotta stay, you know, in shape comedically.
Yeah. I was looking you up on Wikipedia before we got here, and it said you were born 86, 87, question mark.
86.
Can we, for the record, clarify?
Apparently a lot of lies about me on Wikipedia from what I've heard, because someone told me, they say I'm 5'10" on there. I'm like, I'm 6'3".
Yeah, born 86 or 87. So for the record,
did they say I'm from Massachusetts? Because I think they say
you grew up in New York City.
Okay, there we go, yeah.
You are Ashkenazi.
Yeah, I'm an Ashkenazi Jew. Oh, maybe they fixed it.
Are you 100% Ashkenazi?
I mean, 100. I mean, I think I'm like 80 something.
Yeah.
I did the 23andMe, which I'm like you know, cloning Here We Come. You look back at that decision, what a fucking bad idea. All these waivers we signed, like, I need to know. And then you get it, you're like, they're going to use this for evil.
Yeah.
Just another fucking, when they're going to meet with the AI people, and it's going to come together, and there's just going to be a me at some funny bone in, like, Toledo doing my act.
Yeah.
But, like, $5 cheaper.
Like when Tupac comes out and raps on stage, like it's going to be comedians coming out on stage.
I think so, yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
The deep fake phenomena.
Did that freak you out?
Well, it hasn't started yet. I mean, there's not been a, like, serious thing that happened as a result of deep faking.
It's going to be amazing for fucking with your friends and terrible for elections.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be great to be like, your friend's going to be like, I like to suck dick, and you send that to him. But then, like, for elections, you could just have a guy say anything, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is ruining everything, you know?
I mean, I got to believe... I sent to like on my our little text thread, like, dude, this is the creepiest video ever, and it was about like where deep fake technology is right now.
Yeah.
The guy was like, here's an example of you know, a deep fake, and it was like some Kim Kardashian shit, and then he says, that was 5 years ago. Here's one from now.
Jesus.
And where it is now is absolutely plus the guy himself, as he's giving the whatever the narrative, you know, in the video, he just turns into different people.
Well, that's the creepy thing, is like, think about, you know, just what cell phones were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember like having like a Nokia, and you're like, oh my God, Snake?
Yeah.
Like, that was incredible. This game is Snake. This is great. And now you're like, oh yeah, literally I can do anything with this phone. It's crazy.
Anything. Yeah, it's crazy because there's women on Instagram with like millions and millions of followers that are like unbelievably gorgeous. They're AI. And so you have these little kids killing themselves because they're depressed because they don't look like this, but it's not even a real person.
And they know it's fucking with kids' self-esteem. The weird thing about like Meta is like they'll do these tests to be like, is this damaging young women's self-esteem? And they'll be like, oh, overwhelmingly yes. And they're like, are you going to change anything? They're like, no, of course not.
That's going to get likes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's working for us. But
and what's crazy is like, because I didn't think anybody used Facebook anymore, but the Meta stock is going through the roof too.
Yeah, they're doing all right. And also, you know, I remember like when phones had a compass. Remember that early on? You're like, well, cool, this phone has a compass. Now, if your Uber Eats guy is not exactly, you know, if your Uber's,
you're like, what the fuck?
40 feet away, you're like, what are you, a fucking idiot? You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at the Meta stock. I mean, go for the last year. It tanked and then it went back up.
What about that whole narrative that the metaverse was a fail? Like,
no, because
it's just getting started.
They're working on other shit too. Yeah. It's like the VR. I mean, they're like
the metaverse is VR.
I did a show for VR in Montreal. Did you do that?
No.
It was like we just did crowd work, and it was for like they put the Oculus thing on your head. You're like, man, this is kind of cool.
Oh, I remember.
But yeah, no, I did that, and holy shit, I went on first. Talk about like crowd work shows for like where you have like if I do crowd work in my show and I can like weave it into jokes, I'm smooth. But when it's like 20 minutes on the spot, you know I'm doing badly when they're like do 15 and I'm like I've been up here like 25 minutes. They're letting me keep going. They're like find something here. But I slipped. I called a woman fat. I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucking bombing here. This is terrible.
So you were at home and you did it to a show in VR, or how did that work?
No, it was Montreal.
Did you call a woman fat, or did you ask her if she was pregnant?
No. I wish she was. Oh my God, that would have been a savior. No, I just was like zinging people one by one, and that they all hit, and I got momentum at one point. I'm like zing, zing, and then I get to her, and I was like, I did some planned words about her being heavy, and it was just silence, and I was like, sorry, I don't know. What do you say? I mean, I just have to keep going. So,
but how does the VR work with
I don't know. I think you have the Oculus headset and you put it on. And
everyone's saying an avatar.
And so people are at home watching you do comedy, or were people in the audience?
No, they're at home. No, there were people in the audience, but they're not in the headset. No, that would be fucking. That would be crazy. That'd be like crazy. But no, it's you watch it at home and it's like they can like look around. They feel like they're a part of the show because you're like in the round kind of, you know.
Because people are doing that at front row at the Lakers games. Like you're at your house, but you're front row and you're like looking at Lakers shit.
Oh wow, is that how you do it now?
They're doing it at during the pandemic. They're doing it at strip clubs.
They're gonna make like NBA players make so much. This is gonna go to them at some point.
How do you know that, Scott?
That's crazy.
Oh, Macaroni was working on VR for strip clubs.
They got to make that, but like at a Knicks game. But
he was talking about it. Yeah, that's how I.
They got to make it for like the regular fan, and you pay extra, but you get to sit next to Tracy Morgan and hear his commentary. I sat behind him at a Knicks game once. It was the funniest shit I've ever. Like Tracy Morgan just not making any sense, but it's still kind of gold somehow. Where like I remember this Michael Beasley had like the game of his life. He was just on fire, and Tracy Morgan just turns around to me and my friend. He goes, "Real animals eat meat," and we're like, "I don't know what that means." Tracy Morgan, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
just all day Tracy Morgan just going.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it, man.
I saw him one time leave the Comedy Cellar, and he was just passing Louis. Like, Louis going on, Tracy just got off. Oh, no, Louis just got off, and Tracy's going on. And he goes, "You better left some meat on that pussy for me." And Louis like, "I left a lot of meat on the pussy for you." Just that interaction, like, that's a good...
Yeah, he got in that big car accident, right? And he got some money from Walmart.
He really died. Some money. Holy shit. I remember thinking, like, because Artie Fuqua was in that too, and Artie, like, you know, we know him at the Cellar. He hosts all the time. I mean, he made so much money. And I remember immediately being like, man, I hope he didn't blow it all on something stupid. He just rolls up immediately after I say that in like a fucking tricked out Rolls Royce. I'm like, all right, well, there goes that idea. But I mean, he made so much. He's fine, you know. And I mean, and people, whoever think that like they got overpaid or whatever, should have said, like, he was in like a fucking coma. It's awful. It's the destruction that does to your body. I mean,
and wasn't it a Walmart payout? Like, nobody's really upset about.
Oh yeah,
Walmart.
exactly. They're villains. The best line about it, I heard Chris Rock at the Cellar one night. He just said, someone said, "Do you think Tracy will be okay?" And Chris Rock goes, "It's not like Tracy's comedy relied on precision." Like, well said.
Yeah.
No, Tracy Morgan's so funny, dude. It's like, and he's so like, how do you not love that guy? There's old morning TV clips of that guy just like taking his shirt off in the segment. Like, can you imagine you're like, you host like Good Morning Dallas or something, and you just have Tracy Morgan taking his shirt off.
And then saying he's going to impregnate the anchor.
You're trying to keep this show like on the rails, and this dude's like, there's one where he pretends to be an amputee, just like puts his foot back, and he's like, "I was wounded in Vietnam," and they're like, "I don't know what to do with this," but that's the genius. He's just making it, you know, uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I love fucking with morning TV people, because it's like literally the only way you're gonna sell tickets. Like, no one. If I behave, no one's gonna give a shit. But if I just do something horrible, it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I was watching some of your morning TV interviews today, and they look so awkward.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable when you're in studio, because they do not like me.
Yeah.
But it's way fun. Yeah, I remember the one they really got
hilarious,
mad at.
Yeah.
Well, the one they really got mad at was Good Morning Pittsburgh. No comic who ever played the Pittsburgh Improv after me has done their show since. I ruined it for everybody. But it was there it is. Yeah, that's the top one. Oh, yeah, that one.
21 seconds.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, they were not happy.
How long ago was this?
Years ago. But they just asked me enough bad questions, and I was just bored and on 2 hours of sleep. And you just are like, what can I do to make this? Is that it? Yeah, that might. No, that's not. That's another one. That's Kentucky. That one's Pittsburgh.
Isaac is not having his best day running the multimedia.
Yeah, put the sound on too. Oh man, do we not get Wi-Fi in here? Maybe that's...
So they asked you, have you always been funny?
And how many times have you gotten this question? You're just like, do a little, ask me something original.
Like, did you know growing up, hey, I might be a stand-up comedian despite what the odd chart says?
No, it wasn't always funny, but when I was young, I was molested by an uncle, and that gave me superpowers to be funny, because he was funny. So it's kind of like a Spider-Man origin story, you know?
Okay, good.
Yeah, they were not happy. I remember I was leaving, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a cut of that video?" And they go, "Get out."
Really?
And they were so mad. Yeah, I just tweeted. I was like, "Did anyone watch that?" And someone was like, I taped it." I was like, "All right, thank God."
That's epic.
But no, so many of them. Like, what do you want me to do with those questions? I have to do something, you know?
Yeah, it's like somebody coming up to you and is like, "Okay, funny guy, tell me a joke."
Basically, yeah. So yeah, they were not. And the live one, the problem is I only want to do the live ones, because if I'm funny and like any others in their tape, they're just gonna cut out anything funny I say. I've definitely done those where it's like a 20-minute interview and then I see it on TV and I'm like, 30 seconds, come on, what the hell? So but then my publicist will text me, she's like, I can't just ask for live interviews, they know you're fucking with them. And I was like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, we did one on Good Morning Raleigh or something, and holy shit was a guy mad at us because we were just it was live TV and they're just so southern and proper. And we're on the tour bus and I pretended to be healthy. I'm like, we're on a health kick, we're all eating salads. And I turned around, my friend Gary's blowing lines. And it's fake lines, but on TV they were furious. And they cut the segment on the spot. And yeah, I don't know if that we have that. No, oh, those people were awesome, actually. It's funny, the good interviewers are the ones that got freaking fired. Those people that were fucking on the Chicago show, Good Morning America.
Ah, yeah.
Those two hotties. No, this isn't a good interview because I mean, this is actually just a good interview they do because they actually were great at their jobs, but they got fired for he was banging everybody there. I think that black guy with those pretty green eyes. You know that guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember it. I'm trying to think because I was on there and I can't remember if it was before or after.
But he was banging.
Well, they were hooking up, and I think they're still together. But she was. They were both like good interviewers. They were very talented. And you can just tell when you're on a good show versus a bad show. But when you're a good show, no, you're like, oh, I just want to give a good interview now, you know?
Yeah.
But no, so many of the small town ones, they're just like, they don't care about you. They're just like bored by you. So I'm like, well, I'm going to make this terrible.
Yeah, I remember we went to one at like 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and like the guy was just so fucking loud and in your ear. And it was just like, it was so annoying. And some of these like morning radio guys is they're trying to be it, and they're just so fucking like caffeine pilled out, and like it'd be like Danny Bonaducci screaming at you in your ear. It's like, Jesus, dude, like it's too early for this shit, you know?
Yeah, some of them where they're just like, they ask you questions. I'm like, you did no research, and like, it's fine, you don't have to, but don't expect me to like bring my A game. Like,
yeah.
Were they? Yeah, I did one recently. I used to do a podcast with the football player Julian Edelman, and
nice.
He's the man. I love him, but like. The questions they were asking me about him were like, they were like, so you know that picture where Julian woke up after the Super Bowl that some woman took of him who she just had sex with him? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, were you there too? And I was like, no, it was the woman. Like, what do you want me to do with that shit? That's like, that's your setup for me?
Yeah.
No, he fucked a fan or something. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, it's probably why podcasts are blowing up, because it's like, you know.
Well, this shit, yeah. I mean, this thing is like we're having a real conversation. It's like, you know, we're in a fucking van, dude.
Yeah.
We are in a creepy van, dude.
It's nice to be in a van that's not creepy. I mean, it's like, you know.
There's air conditioning. There's liquid deaths.
Yeah, this is, if the Zodiac Killer were still alive, this is where he would do a podcast.
Fuck yeah,
no,
dude.
This is cool. This is, and you guys are like blowing up. This is big.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks,
thank
man.
you for saying that.
We've been on a good run, dude. We're super stoked. I think I'm trying to figure out which is the more age-restricted podcast, you or Mark.
I would say, really? I would say Mark.
Yeah, Mark. I feel like
my
Mark,
God.
Yeah. Mark goes hard. I mean, that's kind of. I feel like I've turned into like the straight man on our podcast because Mark will just like fart on a guest, and I'm like, well, I can't go further than that, you know. So I just have to be like Mark, you know. Yeah. But no, I love hanging with Mark. I mean, we've been friends for so long, so it's.
He's fantastic. Both of you guys are fantastic.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. That's fun.
I loved doing your podcast. I feel like I was telling stories on your We Might Be Drunk podcast that about my like history with my checkered sexual past, and my fiance was present.
That was crazy.
Hearing some of this stuff, like the really dark stuff.
Stuff that she's never heard?
I think so, yeah.
Really? She must trust the shit out of you, though, because you were so honest. I mean, it's like, it's nice, you know?
I think after the fact, I thought she was hearing it for the first time, and I think after the fact, she was like, oh, no, I already knew that stuff.
Yeah, but the fact that you thought it was the first time, that shows how honest you are.
Is there anything that comes up now where she's like, I didn't know that?
I think we've got pretty much all the rats have scurried out of the club. But yeah, dude, let's We got some tickets left for Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I'm gonna be everywhere. We got Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, York, Toronto. That's a big theater. Chicago, the Meridian Hall, I think. Chicago Theater in Chicago is a big one. Gonna be in Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Indy. The theater in Madison Square Garden, and then I'm hitting all over Australia, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney.
You got to say Brisbane.
Brisbane, sorry. Vegas. The second time this year I'm going to Vegas. I'm trying to win instead of the Mirage this time, just mixing it up. They didn't have room. But then Tampa, and then my least favorite city in the country, Naples, Florida. I'll be returning to. I fucking hate those people. So it's a revenge gig. Shame on all the fucking vapid rich pieces of shit in Naples. I will strike down with great vengeance.
Yeah.
That show will be crazy. I wish death on a guy last time I was there, and I'll fucking do it again.
Yeah, because he said you mumbled.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that was another one.
Dude, now that's how you promote a show. I think we just sold out Naples.
Naples, dude.
Yeah, we have a lot of fans in Australia too. So
yeah, we just got back from how many?
54 cities in 90 days.
I think it was 54.
In Australia?
I think it was 54 shows in 42 cities.
42 cities.
Yeah, and even Australians have no idea that there's 42 cities.
Yeah, you said that. I was like, I did not think it was that big.
Yeah, everybody thinks there's like 7.
We went on the most extensive Australia tour that any
I've never
artist.
been, dude.
Oh, man, you're going to love it.
You're going to love it. Where are you going in Melbourne? Where are you playing?
I don't remember.
I think you got to say Melbourne.
Melbourne? I don't know, man.
I had my biggest show
on my website.
Life. Biggest show of my entire life in Melbourne.
Yeah, we did
4,500.
We did the podcast with Cheeto Santino there.
Oh shit! Because he was shooting a movie, right?
Shooting a movie.
Yeah, he was shooting a movie.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I just saw him on what's that one with
Dave?
No, it was on Netflix. It was like an Asian show. He was it was a big with the female comedian. Why am I fucking
Beef?
Beef. He was on Beef. He was one of the.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was a really good.
I heard it's great.
That was a great TV show. The Playas Theater.
Never heard of it, but I'll be there. I've
there.
never been to Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna love Australia. MSG got 4 comedy specials out there.
I got 5, I think. I have a half hour on Comedy Central that's with an album, but then I got a special on YouTube called Positive Influence. I got this, which may be my best one, and then Up on the Roof and the new Netflix one, and I'm going to tape a new one in Boston in March, so I'm pumped for that.
When you did the Netflix one, did you license it to them?
Yeah.
So you get the rights back after 2 years?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's good. I think, people are so, but, YouTube worries me now too, where I think, my friend Joe List just put one out and it's killer, and he said that they got demonetized because he said the word in the special, so it got demonetized, and and it gets killed in the algorithm, and like we were going up as comedians against a robot that can't detect sarcasm or doesn't understand comedy, and it's not like a person being like, oh, that was ironic what there's so that's dangerous, and I think YouTube was safer, but they keep moving that goalpost in, and I am worried about the future of comedy. I really am.
Yeah, I can't put my my jacking off footage on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the real problem.
Yeah,
but no, yeah, it's crazy. You probably have to put that on Pornhub.
Yeah, OnlyFans, Pornhub. It's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, dude, I'm super stoked. It's a pleasure to get you on here, man.
We loved having you on ours too. It's fun to be here.
When you go out, so you're here for where are you in LA?
I'm just doing the region tonight. Maybe I'll do a little tap dance for the industry. We'll see if anyone wants to buy my new special. And I was here a couple months ago, so I didn't really. It's funny. Now I kind of wish I had him come out to that show because it was a bigger venue, but it's okay. It's probably better now. The jokes are probably a little better.
The Calgary one. I'm guessing that
the Great Outdoors Fest.
Oh shit!
Which, by the way, wildfires everywhere. I just did Edmonton, and I'm there with Theo Vaughn, and dude, the fucking city it's like the smokiest air you've ever taken in. I was like, man, this air quality sucks. And Theo's like, nah, man, it's cool. And then cut to 30 minutes later, our agent calls us. They're like, the province has shut down the city. The show is canceled. We flew in a night early because we're like, we got to get there a night early. There's no direct flights to Edmonton from New York or LA. And, you know, so we're like, fuck it, I guess the show's canceled. I'm not just going to take their money. So they're like, will you stay another night? And I was like, yeah, we'll stay another night. The air will get better. They're like, yeah, the air is 10 times worse. The quality's brutal. The show is on. We're like, you know, do the by the way, you can't do a fucking show indoors for 2 years because of COVID. Now we can't perform outdoors. Like, wild. This is getting dark, you know? And then we do the gig. It's great. But, you know, then I'm flying back. We had to connect through Montreal because of the fucking air. I got stuck in Montreal, so I was like, this is like a 4-night. Although there's worse places to be stuck. Montreal is insane.
Beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, dude, kill it at the Regent and fucking kill it at MSG and actually kill those people in Naples.
I'm gonna no, God is gonna do that for me. They're on death's door already. This is literally like the end. It's the end of the road. That's what I said last time he heckled me. Some guy heckled me and I said, fuck, I can't wait to leave here. And he goes, yeah, well, you're still here. And I said, yeah, well, I'll be gone in the morning and you'll be dead soon. And he goes, you'll have to put me in the ground. I was like, no, that's not how time works. And I was like, all right, thank you very much. That was like my show. Thank you very much. I wish death on 47 people. I've been Sam Morril. And they were like,
yeah,
fucking hated me.
Like the Joker up there.
I really was. Joaquin had a better set in that movie than I had in Florida.
Dude, that's epic, man. All right, brother.
All right, thank you, dude. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Is that dude awesome enough? I mean, come on. I love him. And check out how awesome we are, because as this comes out, it's tomorrow that his tour starts. That Madison Square Gardens Theater, that's November 4th. Now is the time to jump on this guy's tour. And it's also the time for me to thank you, the wonderful street team. And I'm super stoked because I'm finally developing a special Wild Ride Street Team t-shirt. And I was just going to make it be like the Wild Ride logo with some cool, maybe like graffiti thing, because that's like a street team kind of thing. And have the Wild Ride logo and then have it be like spray painted street team underneath it. And Lux, she says, make it doper than that. So we're taking our time and really trying to figure out what's going to be the dopest Wild Ride Street Team shirt. And I like to think I'm never, ever going to promote it anywhere but at the tippy tail end of the Wild Ride podcast, because it's the only fucking time I talk to my beautiful, wonderful, beloved street team. So, you guys are it. I love you. And I want you to have the best day ever. Thank you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Terry Dubrow.
Oh, wow, that was good. You pronounced my name correctly. Good
well,
job. Thank you.
Very good.
Off to a good start.
This is my co-host, Scott Randolph.
Hey, Scott.
How's it
nice
going?
to meet you.
Up at the front, we've got the gorgeous Paul Brisky.
Nice
Doctor.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I think that some people will find it counterintuitive that, you know, why have the plastic surgeon? Is it safe to say that you're the most famous plastic surgeon in the world?
I think if you ask me, the answer would be yes. But whether I am or not, I mean, Botch is on in 164 countries. Can you believe that?
Right.
164.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I think if you were to ask internationally to name 2 plastic surgeons, it would be that other guy. What's Paul, I think, is and me, Terry.
Who's the other guy?
Paul Nassif. So there's 2 guys on the show, Botched, right?
Okay, right.
And so I'm a head-to-toe plastic surgeon. He just does noses, basically. I mean, he's a great guy. I used to do noses, but he does them all. But I'm a classically trained plastic surgeon, so I do a lot of the stuff from head to toe. Yeah.
And Botched, is of course what it sounds like. You're kind of fixing disasters that happened with plastic surgery gone wrong.
That's pretty much it. I mean, we've done 7 seasons where we just got picked up for 2 more.
Nice.
So 8 and 9. We're going to do 20 more episodes. And it started out by basically fixing people who've had disasters from plastic surgery. It sort of evolved into like if you're a victim of trauma or a bad congenital deformity,
right?
Whether you've had plastic surgery or not, and you have kind of a hopeless, unfixable situation, you come to us and we try to do it. We pretty much do it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So you said that if you ask anyone in the world or in any other place in the world, they would have 2 guys, and both of them are from Botched.
Yes, Paul and I. It was the show was originally Paul's idea. We had worked for a short period of time together, and he called me up one day and he goes, "Hey, you do a lot of revisional stuff, a lot of fix-it." I go, "Yeah, so do you." He goes, "Why don't we do a TV show about fixing impossible to fix plastic surgery?" I said, "Terrible idea." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, think about it. Most of it will probably go badly, and we've just put ourselves on national television with disaster complications that we could have, because the risk of a complication is exponentially higher when someone's had previous plastic surgery or when someone's had 15 previous operations."
Right.
So it's kind of not a great idea reputation risk-wise.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, we sort of you know how life imposes its will on you and forces you to do something that even if you thought was a bad idea, you just do it, you get really good at it, and we got really good at it.
So, I mean, that's really interesting. Do you find yourself like contractually in a place where you don't have control of the final edit?
No, we don't. We don't have control of. Well, we don't. We don't really see the final edit. I mean, they're very sort of concerned about. See, you probably don't know this, but my wife's a housewife on Real Housewives of Orange County.
Oh, wow, cool.
And Paul's wife was a housewife on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills years ago. And so you have no control over that edit. In fact, they'll make you look bad. They'll make you look good. You have no. This show, we're never worried because they always say to us, "Ride the razor's edge." I'm a very silly guy naturally, and everything I see, I sort of find kind of off the wall and funny. And so I use a lot of off-color humor in the show that they can't use.
Okay.
So, or if they did use it, would make me look really bad. Because, you know, on a reality show, you do those interviews afterwards.
Yeah, right.
And then you try to say something funny, and it wasn't that funny, so you try to say it again, and invariably I get dirty with it. And I go, okay, you can't say that at all. And if they showed that, I'd be canceled, right? So they'll say, no matter what, we'll take care of you. You know, they make us look like heroes on purpose. So I'm never worried about it.
Yeah, that's true. They never want you to look bad. That's kind of whereas the Real Housewives, it's like they need a villain, they need a good girl, they need
you don't need that. You don't want a bad doctor, right?
You don't want a bad doctor, but you don't want just an interesting, weird, uncool story is that my wife wasn't on Real Housewives of Orange County for the last 4 years. We were on the first 5 years, not the first 5 years of the show, but like seasons 6 to 11, we were on it. Then
this is after you were on Botched.
No, I started doing Botched about 3 seasons into Real Housewives of Orange County.
Okay.
Same production company. Okay. So you figure, they'll take. So we were off the show.
It's the same network too. Is it all on Bravo?
No, we're on E.
Oh, okay.
But the same company, NBCU. Okay. So Botched is on E. Real Housewives is on Bravo. We left Real Housewives, and now I'm just doing Botched, which was awesome. Right. Really fun. You have to worry about your reputation being a problem. Anyway, we go back on Real Housewives of Orange County, and one of the new housewives apparently I had operated on 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And unbeknownst to me, because she looked so different, had a different last name, she had sued me.
And you just forgot?
For malpractice. I forgot. It didn't go anywhere. She dropped it. It was no big deal. So she comes on. I had no idea it was her. She knew. The other housewives figured it out, and they blew up the story instantly. My production company highlighted on Real Housewives of Orange County a malpractice lawsuit against me while I'm their hero on Botch. And I went to them, I said, "Are you guys smoking crack? I'm you want to..." Anyway, it was really a bad idea. It really, I felt it really hurt my feelings. It was really disloyal. But that's what happened this season on Real Housewives of Orange
Wow.
County. How pissed would you be?
I can't even imagine. But yeah, I'm a very sensitive guy, so I imagine I would be upset.
I mean, to highlight, I'm on botching these cases and to make a big storyline on even a bigger show about a malpractice lawsuit against me. Yeah. It's just not something. Anyway, whatever. long.
Right.
Yeah, that would bum me out too.
It bummed me out.
I was less, motivated to ask about approval of the edit and control over what they include about how they show you in interviews than about how they would approach just failures.
Okay, that's a very good question. So you're right. Weirdly, in 178 episodes, we really only had about 3 go wrong.
And I mean, like, presumably, like you said, the risk is considerably greater in people who have proven to be prone to things going wrong.
Or they've had so much plastic surgery. You know, it's funny, in plastic surgery, you have a disaster complication either because statistically you're going to run into a complication, or you push your doctor, keep going bigger, keep doing more surgery, you just keep doctor shopping, having more and more surgery, so the tissue's ruined. So yeah, the risk in our surgery is particularly high. In fact, I have a special high-risk consent form I have them sign that says, you realize this is no joke. Your chance of a complication, even in our hands, who do this for a living, is extraordinarily high. It's as high as 40% or more. Wow. And of course, they think we're just covering our butts with this, but it's the truth. But to answer your question, 3 or 4 times it went... You know, I had one patient who ended up in the hospital, but they did okay. Where it gets tough is when you have a patient who has a complication, and then they go to an attorney who says, you know what, Harvey Levin, TMZ, is going to hear about this. How about you give us $5 million or we're going to expose this to you? Like almost an extort. That's happened once on the show. This patient tried to extort me who was on botch. Immediately we fired him from the show. And we said, go for it. And we got the story out before they did, so it didn't actually.
And that's why you have insurance for shit like that.
Well, you can't have malpractice insurance for someone, trashing your reputation. Yeah. See, the big thing with me is if you sue me, that's cool, because I don't commit malpractice. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a certified expert for the California Medical Board. I'm a medical legal expert. I know exactly how to do this within the standard of care. But you can get me by just the act of filing a lawsuit against Terry Dubrow from Botched.
It's like a bad Yelp review.
It's on steroids. Yeah. By the way, the big threat is botched by the botched doctor. That's why when the show first started, before the first episode, it was named Nip Fucked. Wow. Nip effed asterisk SCKD.
Nip and tuck. Nip and fuck.
It was a takeoff, exactly a takeoff on that. Yeah. We thought this is so funny. And then, like 2 weeks before the show, the first episode came out, Bravo said the advertisers don't like that. We're changing the name. We go, okay, what do you change it to? They said botch. We said, ugh, that's a disaster. Why didn't we want it to be botched? First of all, it implies that some doctor blew it. Or if we blow it, it's botched by the botched doctor. So we just didn't want that reputational hit. So that's always the threat. Oh, we're going to file a lawsuit against you. Not whether the lawsuit will prevail, just the filing of it actually hurts us because it goes viral immediately.
Yeah.
Right, but... Nip fucked has all the same issues.
It does, but botched is like somebody blew it. Nip fucked is funny. You have to get fully past the nip tucked, nip fucked, ha ha ha. It just didn't have the automatic you ruin them, which botch does. So
I mean, it is a juicy title, and I think that they did well to go with it.
They did, and now it's part of the vernacular almost. Botch, they use it for other things as well. Botch mission. Well, you always can use that, but now it has that particular meaning to it because it's part of the, just like you. I mean, well, it's not as significant as that, but it's part of the cultural sort of language now.
Now, the show obviously is very successful.
Yeah.
Does the decline in television viewership Like, I mean, like, is it propped up by a streaming service? I guess the Peacock would be.
So the ratings, and I do follow the ratings. Of course, you live and die by the ratings when it comes to television. The ratings of landscape television have degraded, obviously, every single season. Weirdly, this last season, season 7, we went back to season 5 ratings.
Okay.
Which is interesting. That's why they picked us up for so many episodes. And it's still grading on a curve. So if the other shows on the network have degraded more by a greater percentage and you went up, you sort of not only didn't you degrade down 30% like all TV shows do now, that they go, I think the show, I don't know why it went up. I don't know. They gave it a little breather for a few months, but it did better. But I don't know why it actually did so well this last season.
I was in a hotel room with my fiance in November of last year, and it was just on a marathon, just one show after the other, and we just sat there and we were engrossed. It's the only time I ever watched the show.
Right.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I just hung in there for episode after episode until it was just obnoxiously late at night.
Right. That's funny. I think the show, the reason it works is we have this nice relationship. It's plastic surgery gone bad, but everyone knows, you always question the authenticity of other reality shows. I mean, like what you guys did. I mean, when you fall off a building or something, everyone goes, that's dangerous. They're going to get hurt. Even if they don't, they got luck. Same with botch. It's like, we take this tissue apart that's damaged, a disaster. We've warned them this could be a complete nightmare with you ending up in the hospital and way worse. And everybody inherently goes, yeah, that's true. That's no one questions whether it's authentic, and you want to see the outcome, you know? And so I think that's why it works. And that was the very thing I was so afraid of, because it's predictably it should go wrong a lot of the times.
Right. My question on you said 3 or 4 times that it didn't go well. Did the show own that and include those sort of
so yeah, that's a very good question. So the answer is, one of the times it didn't go well, it was because she had a wound problem, and she was her wound popped open, and it needed dressing changes.
The incision.
The incision popped open, it got infected. She needed dressing changes, which is okay, because as long as you treat it and it gets better, we're good. But she left a packing in there, and it healed over it. It pussed out. She ended up in the hospital, and she hired a lawyer. And I said, you stuck the packing in there. You know you're supposed to take it out. And that's one person who tried to extort me. So they were off the show. So that's one of the 3.
And that's not even a call that anybody made creatively. That's just...
That's like, you sue us, you sue the network, you're out.
Right.
The other 2, it just didn't work. The surgery we did just didn't work very well. And we were going to bring them back and try to fix them again, and the patients lost interest. It was like their 17th surgery. But I will tell you, one thing we don't show you on botch is the following. A lot of times it looks like we do 1 surgery and they're fixed, and here's the after. Oh, thank you, Dr. Dubrow, you're the greatest. Sometimes we do 4.
Okay.
Sometimes I try to give people a 90+% improvement, right? And so if you are a total nightmare melted wax thing, sometimes the first big surgery is trying to get you into the 60s. Like, I think of it like getting a score on a test, you want to get a 90, that's an A, and then you need to get like 96 to get in med school. But a 93% improvement in plastic surgery is a really giant improvement. So sometimes with one surgery I'll get them, not very often, I almost always get in the low 90s one time, but sometimes you get them into the 60s, you go, okay. And then 6 weeks later, you get him into the 80s, and then you get him into the 90s with 3 or 4 surgeries. If you try to push it into the 90s sometimes with one surgery, you're going to go the other way, and you're going to make them worse.
Okay.
Or put them in the hospital.
Now, plastic surgery, is safe to say that it's always elective surgery, and as such not covered by insurance?
Okay, so there's plastic and reconstructive surgery. So the stuff that's considered reconstructive, like breast cancer reconstruction, a congenital deformity, breasts that are giant, those surgeries that have sort of a functional component, not just a cosmetic component. If there's a significant functional component, that's covered by insurance.
Okay.
But taking a bump off somebody's nose, not. But having an airway, a breathing problem, that is often. So sometimes there's two components. And breast reconstruction, even though it's cosmetic, it's pure cosmetic because you don't have a functional problem when you have no breasts. Insurance companies will pay for that.
Okay.
Breast reconstruction.
Now, in the case on the show, when you've got 4 surgeries, is the show covering these surgeries?
So the show covers the surgery.
Wow.
And they pay us a certain amount to do the surgery, and then anything after that we kind of take care of, because I'm not putting you on the after. I'm not showing an after that's terrible.
Right.
It's got to be rock star.
So that would make me believe that the budget for this show is pretty astronomical if you're covering all of this surgery.
Well, 98% of the time we nail it with one operation.
Right.
So, for example, let's say the show pays $20,000 to have us operate on the patient. Okay, $20,000 covers the anesthesia, the facility. I might charge normally under normal circumstances a lot more than that portion of $20,000. That's the procedure fee.
Well, especially if you're taking a big risk by doing the surgery.
But obviously, it's just they pay us enough just to cover it, and we're sort of, as far as I'm concerned, once I'm in, I'm in. By the way, I kind of do that with my own patients. If you fly. Most of my practice is botched, meaning you don't really come to Terry Dubrow because you want a simple bump taken off your nose, or you want simple breast enlargement. You come to me because I'm going to fix your desperately hopeless problem. If I charge you a lot of money for it because I have special skills, I mean, maybe I'm not Tom Brady, but you don't pay Tom Brady, $1 million a year to be your quarterback. You got to pay him because he's going to win, right? Well, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And so if I don't, and you've flown in from today, I had most of my practice, overseas practice, is back. I had 2 patients were from Africa today, a patient from Sweden, a bunch from Texas, New York. You come in, you come all the way in, we charge you this amount of money. If it doesn't work, I'm going to keep going, and I'm not going to keep charging you every time.
Right.
So we don't lose money on botch.
Do you have a favorite body part that you work on?
Well, the
besides
most common
boobs.
Could this doctor be any cooler? It's like you want him to be your dad. He's so cool. And let me tell you, Father's Day is coming up mighty quick, which has me thinking about some of the coolest things my father taught me. Like, if a little's good, a lot's better. And never overpromise and underdeliver. God, I love my dad. And I'm guessing you love yours too, so why don't we get him something really cool for Father's Day from Harry's, which is the single company in the shaving products industry with the highest customer satisfaction. They just make quality products with no pricey gimmicks, and they're giving their best offer to the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast. Plus, for Father's Day, you get 2 cool choices. You can either get, if you're a first-time Harry's customer, this killer starter kit, which comes with the weighted ergonomic handle, the 5-blade razor, the cool travel case for the blade, and the foaming shave gel. Or you can get free engraving on any premium shave kit so that Dad can have his own cool engraved razor. How about that? Now, to get this deal, you just go to harrys.com/Stevo. Plus, I can think of a lot of funny things I might get engraved on a razor for my dad. Just putting that out there. So head to harrys.com/Stevo to get this great deal. And now let's find out if this doctor is a boob guy or a butt guy. Are you a boob guy or a butt
You
guy?
like breast? Well, okay, so the most common plastic surgery procedure is breast augmentation. That happens to be the one that has the most risks associated with it. Because you think about it, you make an incision, you open up a pocket, you throw in a foreign body, the immune system comes by and goes, what is this?
Right.
And a great percentage of the time, it decides at some point in the future, maybe not right away, but maybe a year later, 3 years later, hopefully never, it decides, I don't like this, and it forms intense scar tissue around it, encasing it.
Is that called capsular contracture?
That's exactly, see, you learned from the show, huh? That's good. That's exactly what it's called, capsular contracture, and, you know, you'll go back in, you'll try it again, and then it'll get infected, and now you've lost tissue, the nipples will die, and you've got this gnarled up crab claws appearance where there's nothing there. What are you going to do? You go to the botch doctor to try and fix that. So that's the most common complication. So for that reason, that's the most common fix-it surgery.
Okay.
But my favorite, I like doing really difficult stuff that doesn't necessarily have breast implants associated with it, because I can nail breast implants and fix it, and it's perfect, and they love me, and they're happy, and then 3 months later, the body went, nah, fuck you. And it just put scar tissue around it and said, I don't like this. And you go, ah. So even though technically I nailed it and got it to heal,
right,
the body said, no, I don't like it, and put scar tissue around it.
Okay.
Damn.
Now, you said the nipple will die. What does that mean?
Okay, so when you take a breast apart, right, you have to naturally, when you do any surgery, you cut blood supply. By the very nature of making an incision, when plastic surgery, we lift tissue off. As you lift it off, you're cutting more and more blood supply. As they've had more and more surgery, there's more scarring within the tissue. So there's naturally less fuel going to the nipple, right? Well, if you cut too much skin here and too much skin on the side, and you lift it out too much, and you take too big of an implant and put it in there.
You're undermining the circulation.
That's exactly right. You're choking off the fuel supply, the oxygen, the arterial blood flow to the nipple.
And so that's going to do nerve damage?
Not nerve damage. It's vascular damage. So nerves is for sensation. So the vascular damage, so it starts to turn blue and then black. And
it dies.
It dies.
Wow.
Necrosis.
Wow.
And so what you want to do is, you know, it's a game we play with the tissues. This tissue has been completely damaged and trashed. How much more trauma can I subject it to before I bugger it, before it now doesn't have enough blood supply to stay alive? And I'll give you an example. So there's a case, these were on bots. I have these cases in my real practice too, not that I did, where a doctor will go to Mexico or go to some guy. What's weird in plastic surgery, any doctor can do plastic surgery legally in this country. A radiologist can decide to take a weekend course and call himself a cosmetic surgeon on Monday.
But not in Mexico?
No, in Mexico too.
Okay.
But
Mexico can be a street vendor.
It's true. But it's legal. If you can, how'd you like a radiologist or a rheumatologist or a cardiologist to do cosmetic surgery? It's not cool.
I mean, but you gotta figure America's so litigious that
that's what protects them.
Right.
But they still do it. Okay. So in general, for example, if you take someone's abdomen to do a tummy tuck, you make an incision, you lift it up, tighten the muscles, and you pull the excess down and cut it off. If you also do liposuction to that tissue that remains and beat it up too much, the whole thing can die.
Oh,
so I've had cases from Mexico, from Arizona, from all over the country where they do too much liposuction and the whole thing the next morning is turning blue. And then it turns black, and the entire abdominal wall dies. Necrosis.
Can it go back?
Can you go back and fix it?
No, I mean, can it go back to life?
Can it grow back? No. Well, okay. So if you identify that that's happening, and it's from a reversible cause, right? You can maybe help it and keep it alive. But most of the time when you've beaten it up too much, that's not a reversible cause. If you put a breast implant in that's too big and it's squeezing off the blood supply to the nipple, and you go, oh, it's dying in the first 24 hours, and you take the implant out, let it breathe, you can reverse it, allow it, and then put a smaller implant later. But in most of the tissue, once it starts to die, you can't salvage it. So that's what I do. Like it's missing parts surgery.
So in the case where the abdominal wall dies, I mean, there's no bringing that back to life. You're gonna have to remove that.
you remove the dead tissue and then it scars in, and you maybe do a skin graft or whatever it's done to get a closed wound, to get biological control of the wound. So now you have this massively scarred up, contracted disaster.
That's a skin graft situation?
That, or it just scarred up and closed on itself, but now it looks terrible. So what do you do for that?
I mean, if I'm trying to imagine too, when you say abdominal wall, I'm thinking about muscle. Not
the muscle doesn't die.
Okay.
You can't kill the muscle. It's got, the blood supply comes from too deep. It's the skin.
Okay, so the skin, and when it closes on its own, I'm picturing that it's contracted. It's so tight that you can't sit up and stand up straight. Or
you can't sit up. You're in chronic pain. It's pulling the nerves, giving you neuralgias. It's a disaster.
So you're gonna have to open that up and then add in. It's like that's grafting?
No, well, yeah, you don't necessarily want to graft because it'll look terrible. So you try to bring in like tissue that looks so you try to. We have this expression. That, for example, we steal from Peter to pay Paul if Peter can afford it, is the expression.
Wow, I love that.
So, if it's an abdomen, sometimes I'll rotate up a piece of tissue from the leg that's very close and undermine it here and recreate it that way. Or you can put tissue expanders in sometimes.
How's that not a graft?
That's not a skin graft. A skin graft is you basically mow a piece of skin off, mesh it, and you put it on here. It looks terrible.
I've got some right here.
Is that a skin graft?
Yeah, you see that little mesh?
Right. That was skin. Where did they take that from?
That was cadaver.
Cadaver skin.
And isn't it crazy that means that cadaver's flesh became my flesh in the one area?
Isn't that cool? Was that a burn?
It was burns, yeah. 15% of my body. I had the flesh from 7 different dead people grafted on, and that one little patch became me.
Well, how did you get burned?
I laid in rocket engine fuel, and this guy set me on fire.
Oh,
yeah. As you do.
Really?
Yeah.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Burns are the worst. And I ended up on a little bit of a tour of burn units and heard repeatedly that people who have been either shot or stabbed or both will always tell you that burns hurt the most.
They do. Burns hurt the most. So I did a full general surgery training after med school. I went to UCLA Med School. Then I did 7 years of general surgery training where you're like the trauma doctor. And I was chief resident in trauma. And then I went on to plastic surgery. When you do burns and plastic surgery, you spend a lot of time in a burn unit. So I spent a year in a burn unit doing burn surgery. And it is the worst injury of all.
Absolutely.
And you know what you die of when you have a massive burn all over your body?
Dehydration.
That's right, because the
water's going to try to cool down the burn. That's what a blister is.
Well, no, the main function of skin is to hold water in your body. So when you burn a large percentage of your body surface area, that's what we call BSA, body surface area, you can't keep water in it. You die from hypovolemia. You die from dehydration. So that's why you got to get these things covered and grafted as fast as possible. Otherwise, people just sweat to death. Not really sweat.
I read an article in Brazil. They use tilapia skin to do skin grafts, or some places do pig skin or human skin. What's the difference, and why would you?
It's about the immune system.
The scales.
So if it's a xenograft, which is a non-human skin, your body will immediately reject it. So it's a temporary thing, but the body is going to slowly eat it up anyway. So if like someone's really burned but they're unstable and you don't want to do the final human skin grafting, you can put pig skin on, but you have to take it off.
It's essentially a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid. Now, cadaver skin, the best skin is your own skin.
Right.
So you take a skin graft from one part of your body. That's normally what you get, is your own skin. Because cadaver skin is not the greatest either. You can do it for very small areas, but for big areas, you got to use your own skin.
Wow, I got away with it then because I had pretty large areas.
Yeah, 15% is a lot. I mean, did they admit you, put IVs in you, do the whole thing?
It took him 5 days to go in.
I didn't go.
And he was just,
you have a picture?
He was pacing his hotel room. I'm like, dude, we got to go.
I was just toughing it out. Oh, boy, do I have pictures.
Yeah, because that's...
He looked like E.T. He had a big bulb on the end of his finger.
Oh, yeah, the blisters I mean,
Really?
I'm sure Steve's about to show you all of it.
I had bona fide bags of skin. I don't even know what the medical term is.
What do you mean bags?
Like
blisters.
Blisters.
But,
Yeah.
but like this
Bulleye.
size just hanging off
Really?
of his
He
arm.
popped them all and took a shot of it.
Okay, there's one.
Oh yeah, that's a serious bird, man. Look at that.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
But they admitted you for this, right?
They did. Well, I waited for 5 days,
Ooh,
and
you're
the
lucky they
pain-
didn't get infected. How did you deal with that pain? 'Cause that's-
It was the worst pain I've ever experienced. And each day the pain got worse and worse. By 5 days, I couldn't handle it anymore. I tapped
Yeah.
out and I went to the hospital. And at the hospital, they said, you need emergency surgery
Yep.
right away. And they asked me when was the last time I had eaten, and I had just eaten.
Yeah.
I went in there saying that I wouldn't have any painkillers because I'm a sober guy.
Right.
And
then
then they said, oh well, because you just ate, we can't operate on you for another 8 hours.
Right.
And I said, okay,
give me something.
yeah, give me
in the
something.
neck.
And my arms were so burned, they put it into my neck.
They put in the jugular. Yeah.
Yeah.
An IJ. Yeah, that's where we do it. Sometimes patients were so burned in my general surgery training that you put the needle right through the burn into the big vein.
Wow.
It's all about fluid resuscitation when
Is
it
that
comes
the
to burn.
aorta?
No, it's a vein. Aorta is the main artery.
sorry.
You don't want to put anything in that.
Yeah.
You said that early in your practice you were working in a burn unit, but was that doing plastic surgery after the burns had healed?
Yeah. So when you're a general surgeon, you deal with acute burns.
Right.
Like you go to a burn unit, it's all a bunch of general surgeons. They cut out the dead tissue. But plastic surgery is focused on burn reconstruction. So if someone has a burn and they have, a web here or a contracture, you can't lift your arm.
Help us understand what a web is.
So if you get a burn from here to here, it shortens the skin. It gives you a web.
Right, okay.
So you can't extend your neck at all, right?
Right.
So
That's why they told me I had to be really careful as I healed to move.
That's the key thing. Because
Otherwise
you get
it
burn
would heal,
contracture.
yeah.
It'll heal in one. Yeah. So we have all these fancy techniques to lengthen scars, or so that you can move, have normal range of motion, or when
you lengthen a scar, God, that's fascinating. Do you have to plug in each strip?
So the general principle behind lengthening a scar is you have to make incisions outside of the scar to bring tissue that's normal into it to lengthen it. So, for example, if you have a scar contracture band here, so you'd make a cut here, and you'd make a cut here. It's called a Z-plasty, and you would elevate up tissue here, and then transpose it, which would lengthen the whole thing. And that's how you get relief, but you have to make additional
It's like a geometry
incisions.
trick.
Wow.
It's very trippy.
Yeah. It's cool.
So, I mean, a lot of what I do now, obviously, is just total disaster surgery.
Do people ever try to just throw more money at you to keep you going, to keep improving the...
That's how they got in trouble to begin with. What I run into now is I say, look, just because I'm on a TV show and I crack a few jokes and I do this impossible surgery doesn't mean you won't have a complication. Doesn't mean you're gonna have perfect breasts or perfect face,
right,
or whatever, or perfect stomach. So I will get them. It'll be a lot of times I'll get an A-. They want to be what they were promised with their first surgery, which they wanted to be perfect. And I said, don't use the P word with me. How about, and I can't tell you how many times in the last 7 to 10 years, patients, I'll say, don't you think it's beautiful? They go, oh no, it's beautiful. It's just not what I want. I go, whoa. It's beautiful, period. Or it's beautiful, period. Thank you. You're the best.
Especially since these people, by definition, are like the most self-conscious, insecure, vain. Like, you've got this heightened thing. So of course, you
have to be very careful, particularly the ones we bring on the TV show, to make sure that They have realistic expectations. You know, we try to undersell them and over-deliver. Everybody tries to do that. But we really try to do that. But they, it goes in one ear, out the other. You're the botch doctor. You're on TV. You've got special powers. And we go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I do not have special powers. If the risk isn't too high. See, the problem is you can bugger them going from an 83 to a 93.
Right. For sure. It's like playing blackjack.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So you have
walk
to be
away.
really careful. And I had in my real practice, have had a couple patients where it's an 89% improvement. They started out as it was a disaster,
right?
And it actually looks good. It looks good, but they don't want it looks good. They want it to be it's awesome. And I go, listen, this next one we could run into statistics. We could run into data here. I could have a problem, and when that happens, then they get pissed.
Have you ever used a blackjack analogy?
No, but I might start doing that.
Right, like, hey, you're sitting here with what do you want? 21 on blackjack.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you're sitting.
You got
here
a 20.
You're sitting here with like 18.
And you're asking for a hit.
You're asking me to give you a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we obviously have them sign these forms.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they just sign them. I say, read these, you know. And if you ever watch Bach, you know we really warn people. You know?
For sure. I mean, that's what heightens the drama of the show.
It does.
Is that there's this inherent risk of catastrophic failure.
Well, were you about to ask me a question?
Yeah, but if you're finished
so there was an episode of Botch where this woman had all this... You ever heard of these pumping? They'll go to a hotel, they'll have caulking materials from an unlicensed person inject in their face rather than pay for, or non-sterile silicone, and it causes like masses and inflammatory disasters. There's one on Botch where she was turned down by every doctor for the last 10 years, and she looked like the Elephant Man. Her name's Raji. I mean, I can show you a picture. I'll bring up a picture, okay? Masses everywhere of inflammatory granulomas. And she came on Botch, and she came on and we turned her down. Because we turned down a third of the patients on Botch.
I mean, you got to figure that if everybody else is turning her down, what's the likelihood that you're going to go and put a big television spotlight on it?
Not only that, if everyone else turned her down, a bunch of board-certified plastic surgeons turned her down, and you take her to the OR and you make it worse, the hubris. I mean, it's basically you knew that 10 other doctors turned down.
Right.
Why did you do that? That almost sounds like malpractice. You're getting over into you're doing experimentation. So this woman comes on season 3 with concrete in her face. Concrete masses. I mean, unbelievable.
Just Home Depot shit?
Like Home Depot shit. Literally caulking material. The person who did it ended up going to jail for murder. She got injected a couple people in their butt and went up to their lungs and killed them. So she was, the madam they called her. So she comes in, and then I thought to myself, gosh, she was really walking around. I thought about it for about 6 months, 9 months. The next season came out, and I thought, and I woke up one morning at 4 o'clock, and I had an epiphany about it. I thought, I know how to fix her. Don't go in there and try to, because it was so close to the surface, even if you could remove it from the inside, you're going to devascularize the skin and it's all going to die. And now her face is going to be necrotic, gangrenous, like a zombie. So I thought, wait a minute, I'm not thinking about this right. What if I just took the part off from the inside that was causing the mass and left the part right next to the skin intact, keeping the blood supply intact? Just as long as you can't see it.
So I'm trying to follow that. Does that mean, like, what if I
take off the bottom half?
Take off the bottom half, leave the concrete in, but just get it further away from the surface.
Exactly. And just get it so you can't see because if you feel your skull, it's super irregular. Right? I mean, there's lumps and bumps all over it, but just as long as it looks smooth, you don't care that you can feel your zygomatic arch and the way it inserts into the maxillary area. You know, who cares? Just as long as it looks okay.
So is that a function of pulling the cement underneath like muscle tissue?
So you have to go in there and lift it up. So now it's attached to the skin, and here's the mass right here. Well, rather than trying to pull this whole thing out, I took an orthopedic saw and I went and cut off this part so it sat flat. And I did it all over her face. And for a year and a half, The big concern is when you do that, you're just going to piss off the body and the immune system. The body will go, fuck you, and just start forming more inflammatory tissue.
Right.
For a year and a half, she looked amazing. I have pictures. It's on the internet. And then she came back, and some of them grew back. I took her back again and took more off, and now it's been 6 years. Perfect.
Wow.
So that was my epiphany. But at the end of the day, had that gone badly, she could have said, you know, all these other doctors said my chance of a complication is 100%, and you promised me, you know, it's on TV, so no one's going to, it's all evidence and proof that I didn't overpromise.
Right.
But it worked. And since then, I've had patients fly in from all over the world, and I've done that.
Wow.
And
yeah.
so
It's a little bit like sweeping the cement under.
It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. I had, so being on Botched also forced you to, and I hate to use this word too loosely, but invent procedures. Because you don't really want to invent procedures. It sounds like, again, you're experimenting on patients.
But you have to be creative.
But you have to be creative using fundamental surgical principles. Then it makes sense. Then it'll hold up in a courtroom. So I had a woman who, very thin woman, who had gigantic breast implants put in her buttock area as butt implants. And it's like, what? And it caused so much pain and hardness, and it was compressing her sciatic nerve. She couldn't live like that. So she had to have them taken out. It got to the point where she couldn't even walk. Very attractive woman, really perfect body, but had these big, giant implants in her butt, compressing the nerve. The problem is, if you take them out, the buttock skin is just going to sit here, like, you know, you're like you've had triplets or something, and so what do you do for that?
Well, that's got to be the most common question, because when people are getting breast reductions or getting implants removed, like breast implants removed, you've naturally got all this saggy skin, like the person's just lost 100 pounds.
It's true, but you still have breast tissue. Remember, this is a girl who, and the implant had atrophied her, any buttock tissue she had by compression. It just gone. And you have basic structural changes you can make that make sense. The buttock has its own natural architecture, and if you mess with its architecture too much, see, the face, your face is defined by your bones more than your skin. Beauty is in the bones. What are the bones of the buttock? There is none.
Right.
And there's no real tissue in the buttock when it's been destroyed by previous implants. So I thought, how do I give her volume without using implants? Because she wasn't going to tolerate implants anymore. So what I did was I invented a procedure where I took her tissue, her love handle. That's exactly right. It's the words I was looking for. Her love handle tissue, just as long as you leave a portion of it intact where a main artery is going in, it's got a fuel supply. And I rotated it down into the buttock, lifted the buttock skin over it on both sides, and removed the excess skin, and went, come on. Now, that is a procedure that exists for reconstructing horrible cancer deformities, where you flip it over on the front, but it's never been flipped as a cosmetic procedure in the buttock. And now it's like a thing I routinely do.
Wow,
that's awesome.
It's one of the most common things I do. If someone wants more buttock protection, I throw it in, you know, because you can't inject free. You've heard of Brazilian butt lifts? That's like
BBL.
BBL. You've heard. You know what a BBL is? You do liposuction, and you inject it into the buttock to give people bigger buttocks. I mean,
so that's like
the Kardashian
thing. A cellulite transplant.
It's like a fat transplant. It is. It's a pure fat transplant. Okay. So the problem with that is, if you get those fatty particles a little too deep into the buttock, there are very short blood vessels in the bottom of the buttock that connect right to the inferior vena cava, the main blood vessel that leads back to the right side of your heart that goes to your lungs. You inject fat into those short little gluteal vessels, it gets into the main inferior vena cava, it goes to your lungs, dead. On the table, or maybe within a couple days. It's the most fatal procedure in plastic surgery, a BBL. In fact, it's so fatal that they gathered an international task force to try to get doctors to stop doing it. I stopped doing it, but it's still super common. So if you can rotate someone's love handles instead, that doesn't have the same risk. It can't get into the blood vessels. It works. But, you know, you gotta it's not something you really want to teach other plastic surgeons.
Yeah, I was going to say, are other people now doing your surgery?
No, they're still
Terry Foldback or some kind of name.
Right, the Terry butt lift.
The Terry butt lift.
Yeah. The Terry Transformer, because I picture it like a transformer going from a car into a robot.
Well, it's interesting. In medicine, you used to be able to name procedures after the doctor who invented them, and then that became a big no-no. So I lost interest. Once you can't name it after the Dubrow butt augmentation,
that's great.
No, I'm kidding. You know, they still are injecting fat. They're just trying to keep it more superficial. But when you hear of 8 people dying in a month in Florida, it's from that operation.
Wow,
man,
dangerous.
What is the like the dysphoria, or is it some kind of a condition where somebody just keeps getting lip injection and they think it looks pretty?
Yeah, I think you're looking for dysmorphia.
Oh, no, but like
that's right.
But they look in the mirror, they think it looks beautiful, but to everybody else, it's so fucking big.
Yeah.
Like, do they not see how big it is, or are they seeing something different than we're seeing?
It's BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. BDD. It's where what you see is so out of proportion to what the normal person sees, right? Like, for example, someone will have a little bump on their nose. Oh my God. And then you take it down, they still see it, and they'll get another surgeon. That, by the way, if every once in a while, so the way it works on botch is they'll send us the pictures, and at this stage we go, I can fix it, I can fix it, I can fix it, you know, bring them in. And you bring them in, immediately you're looking at them going, okay, are you a psycho? You have to, it's the binary psycho, not psycho test. And if they immediately, you can tell a psycho, right? You know, it gets your red flags.
It's in the eyes.
It's in the eye. You go, okay, no matter what, even though this is the coolest case and I want to do this on TV, you're too much of a psycho.
There are sleeper psychos.
There are, by the way, there are sleeper cycles, and that's the ones that we're super afraid of, right? Because
all my ex-girlfriends.
Right. Right. So they'll charm you, the sleeper cycles. They're sociopaths sometimes. They'll white knight you. Oh my gosh, you're the best. Oh, take pictures with me. No, I know. Even you aren't, foolproof. And then afterwards, oh my God, this is a disaster. So you have to be really careful the way you evaluate the sleeper psycho. So sometimes on botch, they come and you go, I want to do this so bad. And the producers will say, you sure? And I go, I'm sure. And we've been doing botch with the same producers for so long. They're the first ones that hear about it. I'm unhappy. So if I say they're psycho, they go, bye, next. And now, we have 15,000 people applying to be on botched all over the world.
Bet.
So it's really easy.
I'm curious, like, for you, what's the incentive to do the show? Did it raise your profile enough?
It's like asking a tattoo artist why they would want a reality TV show about their tattoo practice, because once the show comes out, they've got a waiting list of like 4 years.
Yeah, is it so
much demand?
Simple as that?
So, when you're a doctor, see, I did a TV show called The Swan. Did you remember this show?
I remember that.
I was the doctor of that show.
Wow, I totally remember that.
That show put me on the map and got me, I was only 4 years out of my training when I did it. And so it got me the most mature practice. I was booked for 5 years after that show. So I got really good, because it's all experiential. It's like what you do. You get good at what you do all the time, right? You can't have anybody do this stuff, right? So the more you do it like sports, the better you get at it. So I got really good really fast. Not because I'm so talented. All of my training was the best in the world at UCLA. But if this guy's doing 100 plastic surgery cases a year and I'm doing 820 in 5 years. This is why Kobe would get to the gym before the other guys and would be the last to leave. You do 20,000 shots that day, you're better. You're just better.
Yeah.
So I got really good really fast. But when it came to botched, I thought doing a TV show is fun. Yep. Doing challenging plastic surgery is really fun. The question is, why would I want to do it anymore? I'm not going to get any more famous than I am. You either know who I am or you don't. And if you don't, what color is it? The rock that you've been living under? No, I'm kidding.
That was great. That's great.
No. But at this point, my wife said to me that she goes, why do you want to keep doing botch? And I said, because it's like being a fighter pilot. It's like you want to fly. It's just hair on fire, and it's cool, and I'm really into it, and I love it, and I'm good at it. And at the end of the day, surgeons want to operate. That's what we're born to do.
For sure.
I just got back from a vacation in Hawaii, and I consider it the most miserable experience I've had thus far this year.
Why?
Because
bored.
Yeah, bored. It takes me about 10 minutes to get completely bored if I'm not doing something, and I gotta believe that that's got...
Okay, so we haven't been doing... The pandemic really slowed us down. They weren't sure whether they were going to bring us back because they had 178 episodes. That's like enough to go into syndication or whatever their version of that on cable TV is. So they were going, and then... So we haven't done Botch for like 9 months. Usually we do it, we go start right into production again, okay? So normally I do Botched all day on Wednesdays. We film the consults, and then half day on Tuesday we do the Botched surgery. And so I said, you know what?
That's when you're in production, but you're not in production all the time.
Exactly. But normally we weren't out of production very long, but we've been out of production for 9 months. And so I said, well, maybe I just won't work on Wednesdays anymore. You know, it wouldn't be nice because I worked my ass off. For a while, I was operating 7 days a week. There was no difference between Sunday and Monday for me. So I started not working on Wednesdays. And then I'm sitting around going, and I call my office and go, maybe book one case Wednesday morning. And they go, okay. My wife goes, you're doing a case? I go, yeah, I'm just going to do one case Wednesday morning. And then all of a sudden I'm going, you know, maybe just book another short case after that.
Sounds like me with my touring agent.
Right? You want to, and it's hair on fire, man. I love operating. Plus, what am I going to do with these skills? And we have this expression in surgery where if I don't operate for 2 weeks, I'll notice the difference. If I don't operate for 3 weeks, you'll notice the difference.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's like playing tennis or football. You need to be operating all the time. You can't take too much time off, and and your volume can't be low. Even at this advanced stage of my life and my career, I need to be in conscious operating where I'm going, okay, I'm going to go over there. And, it's like driving. How did you get there? You didn't realize, I've been driving.
It's incredible.
Right. You go unconscious.
We just spoke with champion UFC fighter.
Okay.
Who was a simultaneous champion in 2 different weight divisions.
Not Connor.
Not Connor.
Okay.
It was Daniel Cormier.
Oh, awesome.
And he said that I asked him how satisfying it is to, while commentating, say, this fighter needs to roll over on this hip, use this, and then exactly what you said is exactly what happens. Is it so satisfying? And he said, yes, it is, but since I've stopped fighting, those times are fewer and far because I'm not. The further you get away from fighting, the less you can see.
Exactly, and so it's really important to be operating. If you want to do difficult surgery, to be operating all the time, doing difficult surgery. It's funny. So my wife, if you're interested, I'll show you my house. We build houses, right? I mean, occasionally. And so I built this house in Pelican Crest, quick story, from the ground up, beautiful house, and we sold it and then buying this lot and building it.
Is this in the same neighborhood that Kobe lived?
That was Pelican Crest. He didn't live in Crystal. We were in Crystal Cove. He lived in Pelican. That's the same neighborhood. Yeah, he lived right around. Yes, one of the thrills I had is one time, a buddy for my birthday bought me seats on the floor at the Laker game, and it was like one of his last games, and I had seen him around, and he knows who I am, and we'd seen each other at Disneyland. We sort of waved to each other. He comes up to me and goes, hey man, how you doing? In front of my friends, I go, yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get a call from a friend of mine. He goes, hey, isn't this your old house in Pelican Crest? I go, yeah. Who's there? And I know my buddy does the clothes for Conor McGregor.
Okay.
And he goes, is Conor renting that house while he's training for his fight against whoever he lost to?
Dustin Poirier.
No, Khabib.
Oh, okay. That's been a few years.
Yeah. And so, yeah, maybe it was. Yeah. Anyway, and I said, he goes, yeah, I really can't talk about it because Conor had, like the Secret Service there basically guarding him. So then Saturday he calls me up and he goes, hey, what are you doing right now? I go, I just got home from work. I was wearing exactly what I'm wearing now. And he goes, come over to your old house. And I'm thinking, why? He goes, just come over. I drive over. It's 2 minutes away. And I open the door. It's my old house. And it hadn't changed that much. And Conor McGregor's there with a foot injury. Oh.
Wow.
So he had a bunch of skin pull off on the mat. I took him to my surgery center. I worked on it. It was very cool. So
that wasn't the serious break that he got.
No, that wasn't that one.
My foot was a
fight
balloon.
before that.
Is that
right?
That was with Dustin, right? Yeah. So that was the fight before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been dying to ask you this.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about men getting breast implants? Boob jobs.
So you mean that when they're transitioning, or just as a goof?
Just
because like I gotta tell you that I'm at a point with all of my crazy antics that the bar is so high. I'm actually planning for my next tour, because I do multimedia comedy and I tell the stories about these crazy things and I screen the footage in the theater.
Right.
And for my next tour, I've decided that it's called Steve-O's Gone Too Far Tour. and I'm just trying to be so crazy, and one of my ideas is to get breast implants.
So we had a person on Botched. You can see it on YouTube who did that. They lost a bet.
Okay, I mean, this was ages ago. I saw it,
and he thought it was so interesting, and
he kept it for like over 10 years.
He did, and so if you're gonna do it, put him in and then take him out relatively short.
Okay, because that's exactly what I'm thinking. Before I go on the tour, I want to restore everything back to.
If it isn't in for too long and doesn't stretch your skin because last thing you want to do is have them removed and a bunch of scars put on your chest.
Right, because that like secretly, candidly, like one of my main reasons I was so excited to talk to you was to ask about this.
Yeah,
and what the. Because it just seems like it's got Botched written all over it.
It does.
To have if I get the breast implants removed and then I've got all this loose skin.
Yeah.
And is that something that you can clean up?
Yes, but what I'm telling you is you're not going to keep them in for a year, right?
I think closer to 6 months. Maybe
I think
3.
If you don't,
maybe as little as 3.
Okay, if you don't go too big.
What's too big?
Yeah, how big can
I'd
you
like
go?
to see some double D's on them.
I want to go as big as I can.
Show me your chest. Do you have any loose skin now?
Yeah, I've developed dimples under my man boobs, and that's why.
Oh, you have some loose skin. Well, the problem is you're a little stretched. If you go too big, how big is too big? If you go to a D, all right, and you keep these in for...
Isn't D a relative term?
Well, in general, we all know what a B cup is. It's like pornography. It's hard to define, but you know it when you see it, right? So a B cup is like, a champagne glass, right? A C cup, you start to get into sort of an orange, and there can be a small C, mid C, full C. We all know, you and I have an understanding, this is D, right? And this is double D, okay?
Okay.
You have enough room. You could probably do D or double D. If you do that and you keep it in for 6 months, that's getting maybe past the point where your skin will retract, okay? So you might want to do a C cup. And then get them out at 3 to 6 months, and you won't have to have a skin reducing procedure and a bunch of scars.
But scars, if that's your worst case scenario, that's not that bad. You got scars all over the body.
Like, I was already just mortified that I took off my shirt on camera just now. Like, taking off my shirt and feeling good about it is part of my past. And so if I have scars from...
you don't care.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, and your nipple falling off.
I don't necessarily want to have scars. I take that back. But
By the way, if you do this, would you do me a huge favor? You don't have to say yes or no right now, because I'm sure the answer is probably no. If you put in breast implants, will you please come on Botched and show us, please?
The answer is absolutely not no. If anything, my wheels are turning about how we can get into business together to make this happen, where we're Botched and
I'll tell you how. I can't put them in. Okay, because you're doing it as a goof, but you can get any doctor to put them in. I could probably turn you on to a doctor to put them in for free. I'm sure I could.
Right.
but I'll take them out.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Sure.
That's it.
Imagine the ratings of that episode.
For sure.
Right. There, okay.
Steve-O on botch having his implants taken out. Come on.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, dude, secretly that was like my highest goal.
Oh,
for
done.
Oh, dude, I love it. Okay, the boobs to me are so funny. There's so many different fun ways. Like, for example, I recently bought a smart car for the purpose of crashing it into a brick wall to make sure that the airbags work.
Okay.
Right? It's called the airbag test.
Okay.
But if you follow me, after I get my boob job, I want to crash the car into a wall to do a fun bag test.
A fun bag test. Well, they won't get injured. The breast implants are incredibly tough. No, we Paul and I have dropped them. We ran it over with his Ferrari. And
then, dude, you're my favorite. you're my dude, Terry Dubrow.
What a bro.
I knew it was going to be the most fascinating conversation.
Yeah. Thank you. We ran it. By the way, when Blythe first asked me, I said, "Are you kidding me? I absolutely want to meet him and talk to him. I knew this would be incredibly fun." But we dropped it from a building in Beverly Hills. We ran over with a Ferrari.
I'd be less concerned about the implant itself than the actual tissue.
Yeah, so that by the way, patients will always say to me, what happens if I get into a car accident and the implant ruptures? I say, if you get into a car accident that's significantly traumatic enough to rupture your implant, worry about the structures underneath your implant, like cardiac damage or pulmonary damage.
Right, or even just the tissue, the skin around.
No, I mean, I've seen a lot of car accidents with breast implants, and it's really, you worry about the cardiac contusion, the rib fractures.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to do much.
So we're going D. We're getting them out within 3 months.
What if you had Francis Ngannou punch one and try to break it?
By the way,
he could try to punch your tit right off.
You know what you could do? You could have a doctor. I can't believe I'm telling you this.
If only we had cold opens on podcasts.
Oh, we might need one on this one.
All right, but you could have a saline. So there's two kind of implants, right? They're real silicone shells, salt water, and which is saline, and then silicone on the inside, right? You could have a saline implant massively overfilled, so it wouldn't require impossible amounts of trauma to get it to rupture. You could have that UFC fighter, that big giant guy, smash your chest with his fist in an overfilled saline implant. That would probably, if he did it hard enough, that would probably rupture it.
You'd have to go straight to the doctor, right?
No, I mean, you could have a ruptured implant. You want to get it out soon enough.
If he's got the saline in there,
yeah.
If you drilled a hole or punctured it, would it just the water would just come out? Can you just puncture it and just squeeze the water out?
No, because his tissue thickness is like this, right? So it's like, say it's 2 centimeters. Say it's 3/4 of an inch thick, right? Until you get to the implant. You stab through it. You pull for example, a knife out.
Leak into his tissue.
Immediately the tissue collapses on itself.
Okay.
So it would rupture, because I've seen stab wounds. It would rupture on the inside, which is okay, but it would not come out.
But if you stabbed it with a straw, like a juice box.
But you're never getting through the skin.
Juice box.
Oh, and you kept it in?
If it's a metal straw, you stab it in, you can drink it out, right?
Right? Capri Sun.
Like a Capri Sun.
On Botched, by the way, we've had patients who have such giant implants that are starting to wear through the skin that if we just took them out, and the skin's so thin, it has such poor blood supply, that if we put a smaller implant and cut all that skin off, the skin would die. It needs to thicken up. So what I've done is you take an IV and you put it in there and you drain it out. Let it contract down, scar tissue forms around it, then it's safe to do it. The tissue. But no, you can't.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Okay, this is a complete change of topic, and we'll wrap it up here soon. But I think anybody in the medical field has heard stories about people coming into the ER where they've put something up their butt and they can't get it out.
We had a drawer.
You had a drawer.
We had a drawer when I was at the county hospital, when I was in general surgery, where it was the drawer of stuff we pulled out of people's butts. It was a legendary drawer.
Okay. I thought you were saying somebody had a drawer up their butt. Okay.
No, a drawer. You pull it out, and it was filled with
it's like the
candlesticks and vibrators and like partially decomposed.
I've heard about a squirrel or something, like an entire squirrel.
A squirrel wouldn't make the drawer. We had those. Wouldn't make the drawer because, you know, they'd start to smell.
Yeah, I know.
They're dead.
You could put it in a case of formaldehyde and keep that
so
in the drawer.
I'll tell you a quick story if you want.
Yeah.
General surgery. My best stories are from general surgery. Too bad we don't have another hour. I could tell you one of those.
I mean, dude, we're approaching longer than we've gone, but dude, I'm fascinated.
I'll tell you two quick stories, see if you like them. One is, I had this patient come in. I'm an intern in general surgery, and I've been up all night for days, you know, I'm tired as hell. And I walk in and I see this guy, he's sitting there, and I go, the ER said, hey, we've got a consult for you. So I come down, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I say to the guy, I go, what's going on? He goes, no, I can't go to the bathroom. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm really constipated. And I go, okay. So how long have you been constipated for? Oh, about 12 hours. I go, well, some people get constipated for 12. He goes, no, I can't. And I go, I was trying to get, he won't tell me what's going on. And all of a sudden you hear this, and you go, I'm thinking, well, tell me. And he wouldn't. And so finally I look up there, and I look up his butt, and I put the proctoscope in there, the otoscope. And sure enough, on the end of this vibrator was like a clown's head. And then you go, whoa! And you see it's like this big clown's head. And he's got this clown vibrator stuck up his butt. So we had to take him to the operating room. And we told him, hey, we'll put you under anesthesia. We'll try to relax your sphincter enough to pull it out. But if we can't, we got to open you up. Take it out.
You open it up from the front.
You open it up and, you know, go down to the colon and make an incision in the colon and pull it out there. You'd rather not do that, because that's big time surgery.
Why would it get stuck? I mean, wouldn't it come out? Or?
So what happens is you put a vibrator up there or some object up there, and there's all these sphincteric muscles.
O-rings.
They collapse around it, and it's also, it moves up there. You can't get it out with your hand, and you can't get it dilated enough. You try in the OR when he's under anesthesia to dilate it, you know, and reach up and get it. But once it starts to get up towards the splenic flexure of the large intestine, you know, way up there, the only place to get it out is whoosh, whoosh, and open up the intestine and pull it out that way.
It's like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, Paul, how do you get your dildos out?
They just come out. You have like a plug, see, that keeps it at the sphincter level. That's the key. You never go all the way in.
Okay, quick story, general surgery, that I think is so up your alley, maybe. So, I'm chief resident. These two brothers stab each other.
Okay, not in the hospital. They come in. That's their trauma.
We got a trauma run. You know, where beepers go up. Trauma run. So we come down, and
both brothers in the same ambulance.
Both brothers and same ER, and the two bed next to each other, because it's the red blanket room where, you know, where they're going to bleed. So
are they both stabbed in different places?
So one brother stabs his chubbier brother like 15 times in the abdomen. Boom, 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 boom. You fucking. And then the chubbier brother stabs the skinnier one time, right here on the side of the chest. Okay, so they bring them in.
Kidney?
Up in the upper chest. Kidneys in the back of the abdomen. Okay, so on the upper chest. All right. So the skinny brother with a single stab wound in the chest seemed fine. So we put him this bed. His brother, who he stabbed 15 times, obviously the entire trauma team is focusing on him. Well, as chief resi, you get to sort of stand back, you get to make the big decisions, you know, while everybody's gathering around these people. So I'm talking to the skinny brother with the single stab wound while we're all focusing on the guy, putting IVs, putting Foleys in, getting ready for the operating room. And I say, how you doing, man? He goes, I don't know, I'm they're going, fuck you, fuck you. They're screaming at each other. I go, how you feeling? He goes, I'm thirsty. I said, you're thirsty? He goes, yeah, I'm really thirsty, doc. That, when someone says to you they're thirsty, they're about to die.
Wow.
After a trauma.
Why? Because everything's going there?
They've lost so much blood, or their heart's having trouble. There's some weird feedback thing in the brain. Thirsty is a pre-mortal event, okay?
Wow.
Super thirsty. And I go, you're thirsty? He goes, yeah. And I look up, and his pulse rate's starting to slowly go up. His vital signs have been stable. Single, no big deal stab wound here. And all of a sudden...
Well, I mean, you're talking about a stab wound to the chest.
Right. But he was fine.
Okay.
All right? So, I slowly pull the thoracotomy tray. We have these trays that are prepared for emergency operations that sometimes you have to do in the ER. And I slowly start to open it, and my whole team is gathered around the kid with the multiple stab wounds, of course. And all of a sudden he goes, out. And you see, he flatlines. And I go, whoa, 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 let's go. So he obviously had a stab wound to his heart that was slowly bleeding in. There's a sac around the heart called the pericardial sac. That had a hole in it, but the blood wasn't coming out, right? So it slowly was oozing, and once it got to the point where there was enough blood around the heart in this pericardial sac, it couldn't pump anymore, and he basically died. So what I did was, I sprayed him with betadine.
What's betadine?
Betadine is a disinfectant, right?
Okay.
Sprayed him with betadine, open up the thoracotomy.
Sprayed him where with the betadine?
Right here, the entire chest.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I got to get something to clean him, I don't want to get septic afterwards. And I open up the thoracotomy tray. Thoracotomy means open up the chest tray. Okay. And I take a big scalpel and I go like this between the 4th and 5th rib. I just fillet him open right there. Pull out the rib spreaders, put the rib spreaders in, go whoosh, and it goes whoosh, like this. Oh. And there's his heart with the pericardial sac filled with blood. I cut the pericardial sac, the blood goes everywhere, and he's got one single stab wound to the heart, but it's bleeding like stink. So I put my finger on there, and we have these special suture materials that has these little what are called pledgets, like Q-tips, so it doesn't tear through the muscle, because it's a muscle anyway. I one stitch in, one stitch back, and I sew it down, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 and get his vitals back, and then take him to the operating room, wash him out. That was it. And so he went from dead to totally alive, and then about 12 days later.
So from when he flatlined to when the heart's beating again, what was that?
I had the pericardial sac open to take the pressure off in about 45 seconds.
So dead to alive to life in prison.
No. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. And so, well, what's weird is, so I sort of forgot about him. He was in the ICU. The interns and junior residents were taking care of him. And then, like 10 days later, I hear this, "Hey, Doc!" It's like 7 in the morning, and we're about to go to breakfast before we start the day's surgeries and stuff. And I go like this, and I go, he goes, "Hey, Dubrow, Doc. I go, he goes like this, and it's the guy. He's walking out, he's being discharged, and he goes like this, he goes, "Thanks, man."
What the fuck?
And I go, "My pleasure." And so that was like one of the most radical moments in my general surgery residency, where I opened a guy's chest in the ER, sewed up a single knife wound to his heart, saved him, and he walked out 10 days.
I mean, just to open his ribs like that.
That's like a...
Imagine what that looks like.
What you call the tool that
the rib spreader.
Rib spreader.
It's
clever
imagine
title.
exactly what you would look like. It's this tool.
Like Jaws of Life.
It has these things. You got to cut between the ribs. You put it in, and then it's got this little turning thing. And it goes, and it's not
it's like a car jack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just goes, and all of a sudden there's this heart filled with
and you're
blood.
doing it like frenetically fast.
I'm going, and the weirdest thing I remember is I was present while I was doing it.
And there's no time for anesthesia in that situation. The guy's
he's unconscious
he's dead.
anyway.
He's
got about 45 more seconds. He's going to be brain dead anyway.
Right.
If I don't get this thinking.
And you stop the blood with like your finger,
well,
like a
so
boat,
you
like
have
a hole in a
first
boat.
thing. So he's got this balloon around the heart compressing it because the pericardial sac has got this small stab wound in it, but it's not leaking blood, so it's pushing on the heart, so the heart can't effectively
too much pressure to
pump blood to his brain, so he's out. So then he's got this one single hole, but the hole's going whoosh whoosh, and I just stitched it up with one stitch, and it was like, did that just? I remember while I was doing it, thinking to myself, this is so fucking cool. Yeah. And I guess the reason is because if he died, to be honest with you, I don't know him, and he's expected to die with that kind of injury.
Right.
So if they're expected to die and they die in your hands, you go, yeah, man, I did everything right, and you died. Sorry about that.
Everything right except for, and this isn't necessarily you, but how do they not recognize as he comes in that one stab wound is actually...
Well, what we would do... Well, first of all, his brother is a higher priority. He's got 15 stab wounds, and he's unstable. This guy's perfectly stable. Stable vital signs. You've got time. So what you would do is you'd get an ultrasound and see if there's blood in the pericardial sac. You have time. You don't open them up right there for no reason. So,
okay.
Yeah. Did the brother ended up being okay? The chubby brother?
We operated. Yeah, he was okay. Just a whole bunch of stab wounds.
Thank God he was such a fat ass.
No shit. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it can save
it's true. He had a bunch of stab wounds to his small intestine, which is like no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
But this guy just like died, and not so much after.
Man, I as you told the story about. I imagine, God, how cool would it be if somebody took that and animated it? You know, like
totally
animated you telling the story. And then it reminded me of a question that was on my mind much earlier in the conversation, which was on Botched. The balance between showing what's going on but not letting it be too graphic.
Yeah,
you know, that's something that I'm envisioning. For this multimedia comedy show, how much of a boob job can you show? Like it's...
Well, you can show it all. I'll tell you why. The incision is so small that the audience isn't really seeing what the surgeon's seeing.
I thought that a vasectomy is so minimally invasive that the footage of my vasectomy was underwhelming. I got full-grown men passing out at almost every show on my tour.
But when you do a vasectomy, you're actually exposing the underlying tissue. When you make an incision, only the surgeon can really see in that hole. Beyond,
okay,
it's like a dark hole in there. You really can't see anything.
So boob job isn't that gnarly to watch?
Not at all.
Cool.
Not at all. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because on Botched, they blur things out and they don't show necessarily a lot of graphic stuff. But when you watch Dr. Pimple Popper, the whole thing is the grotesque nature of the popping of the pimples, and they show it all. So I guess because it's not as serious or something, it's okay to show that.
There's a weird type of person who wants to see a pimple popped, and I am not that person.
Yeah,
I am. I don't know why.
My sister
I love
loves
those
it.
videos.
Yeah.
I don't seek them out, but
it's a big.
I don't look away.
It's a big show. It's big, grotesque, but they don't blur any of it. But I guess it's not as sensitive because they're not. There's nothing risk. I don't know. It's interesting.
All right, man. Dude,
All right.
So
I stand by. This has been the most fascinating conversation I think maybe we've ever had.
I don't want it to end.
I've been genuinely engrossed. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like I've been so. I knew I would be, and this has been fantastic.
Well, I really enjoy it. Thank you guys so much.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, I have found my plastic surgeon. Boom. So stoked. And let me point out, for those of you who can see me right now, that I'm in New York City at this killer podcast studio that you might recognize from the Flagrant podcast. What other ones? A Brilliant Idiots. Dude, we're in New York City, baby, and I'm not telling you why, because I legally cannot. Yeah, but holy shit, has this been an epic trip. And for sticking around to the end of the podcast, you, my friend, are epic too. Thank you guys so much. Oh man, it's starting to really fucking be bad. All right, Paul, we're good, man. Thank you, Doc.